Yeah, yeah. Roll callers. They go to sauce bars. Clock on the wall, still ticking. Blue crew posted in the bag. A whole room. Listen. True crime cafe, coffee, black eyes, red files on the table, cold cases, cold dread, seeking the truth. Ink stains on his hand, pics on the corkboard, string lines, map land, busting these cases, long nights, tight grind. Everything will be fine. He repeat that line. Blue crew backs him, keep him on track. One step from the edge, they pulling them back. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, seeking the truth, pay the real cost. Gotta find answers, gotta make time, busting these cases, walking that line. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, hoping he can answer just a few. Yo, true crime cafe, when they go to softball, say it with your chest. This the true talk. Solving the bullshit, lies in the booth, paper plates, cheap meals, chasing down proof, praying real quiet, hands on his face, fighting for the next meal. In another cold case, street talk, tip line, voices on mute, he dig through the dirt, searching for a root. True justice distant, like a changed address, but he still take notes, never half step. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, seeking the truth, pay the real cost. Gotta find answers, gotta make time, busting these cases, walking that line. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, seeking he can answer just a few talk. True crime cafe, when they go to softball, say it with your chest. It's the truth talk. True talk. Crew. Hey, I saw some motherfucking trap!
Metal in my fucking shit! Yeah, okay!
Yeah. Hey. Blue crew, yeah, we break that mold. From the first my ping to the late night stroll. Name by name, we don't miss, we don't fall. Run this shit, let the whole world know. Fizzy on the line, keep the vibe so tight. Sexy Cassie, cut a clown down. Midnight, mama bear, watch it like a heart on the wire. Birdie beat, stand beat like a fuse set fire. Tomboy settle with the heart of a tank. Last 24 hours, I'll be holding down that flank ranks with the clap back clean. No stress, money, great truck, two vintage. Blue crew, run the shit, better know that's true. Keeping all the chaos in the bleak view. Trolls beware, they don't ever care about you. They do it their way. Blue crew, run the shit, make it all make sense. For the wild fire to a place I fence. If you cross that line, they'll come straight through. They do it their way. Blue crew, Winston Speaks got a label on the car. Watching from a bar, so the fake was far. Breakdown, took the cold flip, unique. Moonlit baby with the late night freak roll. Bliss was chaos from the calm in the stack. Cake body geek, got the seats in the chat. Lucy Moody star with the soft ass clear leg. P ready first, say a word if you dare. The story moderating every mess. We been in and out while they talk, while they just stay through it all day. Every green, every brand, keep the feet so clean while they live in your head. Trolls be waiting, better take it in. Tidy one word wrong, that's a straight implant. They don't ever flip, don't bend. If you gone for the crew, that's the story's end. Yeah. Blue crew run this shit, let it know that's true. Keeping all the chaos in the creek of you. Trolls beware, they don't ever care about you. They do it their way. Blue crew run this shit, make it all make sense. For the wild fire to a break stop fence. If you cross that line, they'll come straight through it. They do it their way. Blue crew. Standing on the sidelines, lying on repeat. Little campfire, fiction for the front row seat. Day after day, same story, same spin. You dress up the rumor like it's evidence, then grin. You point at a case, say look at that man, but you don't got a screenshot, don't got a plan. You talk about a mumble in the haze. Goofy gray static, every channel, every day. You shout, I got proof, but your pockets stay bare. Just echo in an alley, just dust in the air. Just another idiot, storytelling every day. You build crooked houses out of things you can't say. You sell loaded rumors like they're holy signs, while family sits shaking on the other side of the line. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. Every word you throw, someone pays. We gotta get the truth before another one dies. Fog lights on, we cutting through your disguise. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. How many names gotta fade off the page while you chase fake ghosts in the secondhand rage? We want hard facts, not your costume show. Turn the cameras to the damage, let the real story glow. Let the real story glow. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. Every word you throw, someone pays. We gotta get the truth before another one dies. Fog lights on, we cutting through your disguise. Stop pushing the lies, goofy gray. Standing on the sidelines, lying on repeat, little. Dust on Speedway, flash bar strobe the saguaros. News van circling like crows on a power line. She was loved by everyone, her picture taped on every door. Her she left in a lifted truck, now her purse is on the kitchen floor. Mask facing the gas station camera, is it him or a borrowed coat? Sheriff saying we got this handle, but his prize pulling at his throat. Darkness in Tucson, bring her home. Every porch light on, she's not alone. Ransom call, real or a joke on the phone. Somebody talk, don't let her die in the unknown. Darkness in Tucson, bring her home. Bring her home. Opened up the scene, now the trail's all gone. Only reading messages, Harvey on the phone. Somebody crack this, don't let her fade to a stone. Crime tape flaps in the hot dry wind. Kids whisper, is she coming back? Boot prints trampled by every badge, every neighbor, every track. Sheriff at the mic, chin too high, says stand back. I know this game, but they cut that lock too early. Let the desert swallow all the blame. We're a little town with a long memory, rumors running like a busted dam. Masked man laughing through a burner line. Is it money or a martyr, ma'am? Darkness in Tucson, bring her home. Every porch light on, she's not alone. Ransom call, real or a joke on the phone. Somebody talk, don't let her die in the known. Darkness in Tucson, bring her home. Hey! Opened up the scene, now the trail's all gone. Only reading messages, Harvey on the phone. Somebody crack this, don't let her fade to a stone. Harvey scrolling through the threads, every typo, every flex. Screen glow in an empty room, whole case hanging on the text. Is he watching from the wash? Is he sitting in the crowd? Is she tied up in a trailer, screaming prayers out loud? Darkness in Tucson, bring her home. Every porch light on, she's not alone. Ransom call, real or a joke on the phone. Somebody talk, don't let her die in the young. Darkness in Tucson, bring her home. Bring her home. Opened up the scene, now the trail's all gone. Only reading messages, Harvey on the phone. Somebody tell her, hold on, you're coming home.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are open for business. The cafe sign has been flipped. Step up to the counter, grab your cup, and let's do this mess. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I hope you're having a wonderful start to your weekend. It is great to be back with you here at the cafe. Excuse me. I hope everyone is happy, healthy, and doing amazing. Thank you to my moderators for joining me. Thank you to my producer, Mikey, and my videographer, Molly, for making all of this happen the way it does. Today, guys, we are jumping into an open discussion, true crime catch-up. What's going on out there in the true crime world? We're going to talk about it. Whatever it is, it's going to happen. So thank you guys once again for being here. Make sure to hit that like button. Share this out. Let everybody know what we all be doing here, if you will. And, well, you know how we do it here. So, that being said, let's do it here. Here we go.
Neon lights flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with restless rage. Justice written on an unseen page. I sip the silence, bitter taste, waiting for the ghosts to show their face. At the True Crime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. Mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hunt the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the True Crime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the break. At the True Crime Cafe, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay.
All right. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you all tonight. Today, not tonight, today. That'll be a little bit later for the Reddit room, of course, but good to see you all. Great to see you all. Happy to see you all. I hope you're all having a great one. Thank you guys so much for joining us here again at the cafe, guys. We're going to do a little catching up in the true crime world, see what's going on, talk about whatever we talk about. It's another open discussion out there for real, for real. All right. That being said, I guess I can do this too. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pin a link in the chat. Top of the chat, if anybody wants to jump up, call in, whatever you want to call it, and join me today to discuss any of the stuff that we're going to discuss, you're welcome to do that. I always love having company, guys. That is a fact. So feel free. Let's see who we got joining us in here this afternoon. Looks like Tracy Fox. Welcome from the UK. Great to see you. Sluther75, my dear. Always happy to see you. Thank you for joining us. The last 24, my own producer in the house. Good to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us as always. Pretty much Finland. Great to see you. Lisa Winchester. Welcome, welcome. Lisa Q. Great to see you. Buffalo Chick. Welcome to the sauce. First and foremost, congrats. We got another new meatball joining us in here today. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And great to see you today. Lisa Clark Monroe, welcome to you. Great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Blue Eyed Butterfly, welcome to you. Jacqueline Keeley, good to see you. And thank you for that super sticker, Blue Eyed Butterfly. Appreciate that so very much. God bless. Very generous of you. Johnny Riesling, good to see you. Typically Unique Miss Kim's in the house with us today, guys. Great to see you. In Stitches, always happy to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Witchy was, Witchy is, Witchy who, Witchy you. Good to see you, Witchy. Jesse Lynn, always happy to see you. Welcome, welcome. Great to see you. Redacto Facto Idaho, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. I'm writing a poem called Destruction of Humanity. I will, if you want to give it to me, I'll turn it into a song for you there, Redacto. Let's see. Poems are awesome. Love poems. Becca, good to see you. Dorisa, good to see you. Reality with Miss Krista Marie's in the house. Good to see you, Krista. Thank you for joining us. Let's see. Let's see, guys. Again, make sure that you're hitting that like button and share this out if you will, please and thank you. YouTube loves that interaction. Pennywise in the house. Good to see you, Penny. Carrie's Gold, welcome back. Lexi Sec, great to see you. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. Good to see you. Love Another Habits as well. Bang, bangs in the house. Bang, bang.
Bang, 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 bang.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Cowboys and cowgirls. Let's see who else we got here. I think I got everybody so far. Yes, guys, y'all make sure hitting that like button and following there behind there to Sluther75 and do exactly what she's doing. Yeah, if you want to give me lyrics, Redactyl, I love making music. All them songs you guys hear before our intro, I put together myself. Lyrics and all, so it's fun for me. It's relaxing. So if you want me to make songs, I will make songs. Perfect time. Just sparking up a spliff. Spliff, spliff. Hey, hey. Daylight savings time tonight. That's right. We lose an hour, guys. We get to spring forward, and not as if I don't sleep. I don't sleep enough as it is. So it's all good. Looks like we got 51 beautiful people in the house and 21 likes. Come on, Gall. Pretend. Just do a little pretending. Pretend like you like me. Just for a little bit and hit that button, please, and thank you. And I'll tell you guys, please, please. YouTube has been messed up lately. There's some issues going on, and it's affecting us creators, guys. So please, if you will, one, make sure you're hitting the like button. That's the most important thing. That interaction is so very important. And if you're hitting it and it's not showing up, they're doing something wrong. And then we have proof. Make sure if you feel like it, to leave us a comment in here during the show before the show and after the show in our comment section. Please, I always like to interact with you guys in the comment section, and I read all those. I try to respond to them. So yes, and share this out. Let everybody know what you saw and heard over here at the cafe with dumb old Dago. And whether they like it or not, at least they can come over here and check it out for themselves, if you will, please. And thank you. But yeah, make sure too, most importantly, and if you will, it only takes a second. Check the channels that you love, folks. If you want to be here, you want to be subscribed here, go down there and make sure that you have that subscribe button hit because they've been unsubscribing people from channels. Um, Go check it out. If you're hooked up over with Bronx Tales True Crime, make sure you're subscribed still. If you're hooked up over there with Typically Unique, make sure you are still subscribed. Truth and Transparency, all of them, guys, because it's been happening all over the platform. So please make sure that that's working. Because a lot of people are not getting their notifications when we do our thing. And unfortunately, you can't be here if you don't know about it. So please go check it out. Chihuahuas in Crime, good to see you. Hildreth Motorsports in the house. Good to see you, Dylan. New York. All right. We got another New York guy in the house. Guys, if you feel like it, if you want to do it, I always love to see where you guys are tuning in from. So just throw it in the chat real quick and I will call you out. For real. Love to see it. Love to know where everybody's tuning in from. That's always a big thing for me. It's always very interesting. So please, if you feel like it and you want to and you're comfortable with it, throw it out there. Let's see where you guys are all tuning in from. Let's see. I think I've gotten everybody. And if I have not yet said your name, I promise you I will catch up with you. Love and Other Habits. Let me check that out. By the way, guys, donations, tips, whatever you want to call it, are never ever expected, but so very much appreciated because this channel would not exist without that. That is a fact. So thank you for anybody that chooses to donate to us, whether it be through PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, the Amazon wish list that we have. It all helps very much. The super chats and super stickers absolutely do. Of course, we don't see those till the following month. And they come at the end of the month. They take 49% of what they want out of it, and then we receive what's left. But we appreciate every bit of that. The absolute best thing you can do, though, is to hit that like button. But the donations are so very much appreciated. That pays for StreamYard, the internet, the premium, all the stuff that we have to run these channels, and then some. So thank you for the super chats and the Cash App donations. You guys are amazing. A lot of us creators could not run these channels without this stuff, guys, because this is hard. It's very hard. And it does get expensive. So, let me grab my charger, guys. My phone just died, so it's hard for me to check that. But I'll be right back with you guys. Don't go nowhere. Oh, all right. Welcome, Astastic. Good to see you. Speedy, welcome back. Good to see you. Yeah, that's a good point, Giddy Up. Our megastars in the house. Good to see you, Miss Meg. Thank you for being here. Uh-oh, what's going on with my headphones now? Oh, probably help if you put them in the right ears there, Dago. Not smart, huh? Kind of a dunderhead at times, but that's okay. Thank you again, all of you, for joining us. Great to see you all. Let me see here. Make sure I don't miss nobody. Right turn, Clyde's in the house. Good to see you. Looks like Stitch is coming out of Guernsey County, Ohio. Donnie Riesling's Bradford, Pennsylvania. Very, very cool. Carries Gold from the south of Ireland. Got to love that. Yes. Redactyl says, I can't go a day without you, Lana and Paul. Well, thank you. I can't go a day without all of you guys. Feel like I'm missing something. Chihuahuas is from Conway, South Carolina. Becca's in northeastern Pennsylvania. Mary Casey, welcome from Maine. I always wanted to go to Maine. Love and Other Habits. I will be able to check that here in just 1 minute, dear, to make sure. And thank you again so much for your generosity. It's so very sweet of you. And God bless. I do appreciate that so very much. It is great to see you, Giddy Up. Thank you for being here. Canadian Cat Lady, so wonderful to see you, dear. Always happy to see you. I know, it's so crappy out here. It's warm, guys. Like literally warm, where I had to open windows, turn fans on, and it's shitty and rainy outside. Gotta love Ohio. The Canadian Cat Lady is out of Ontario, Canada. Love that one. Beautiful Ireland and Finland, yes. St. Louis in the house with Astastic. Yeah, yay. Love it. It is always good to see you, Canadian Cat Lady. Always good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. No problem, Meg. Take your time, dear. Just checking. I think I got everything here. Yes. Just Us and Pixie Dust. Good to see you. Grace Kirk, welcome from Canada. We got a lot of Canadians in the house. I love it. Love it. Our northern neighbors and friends. Gladys Kravis, good to see you. Welcome. Always wanted to go to the U.S. I've always wanted to go to Ireland, Scotland, actually. I love the architecture over there. Beautiful architecture, guys. Most beautiful places I've ever seen in photographs. I've always wanted to go. Always, always. It's like we got some neighbors in here up in Canada, too. Grace Kirk and Canadian Cat Lady must be neighbors. Beautiful. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Spring is beautiful anywhere you go. It even makes Ohio look good sometimes. Fall is the best time of year to be in Ohio, in my opinion. We have the most beautiful trees and colors on our leaves, guys. And it smells in the air. It's just beautiful. There's a castle with my maiden last name. Oh, wow. That is awesome. I had property in Italy. I lost it, of course, but, because I couldn't go claim it. And over there in those countries, if you don't claim something like property that's yours within a certain period of time, people can just walk in and they own it. They can go there, set down their bag, and live there, and they own it. So that's how that works. So, yeah, I had property in Italy that was mine, and I could not get there to own it, to take claim on it. So it's gone. And I guess my wife has family and property over in Ireland as well, because that's where they're from. You have a friend in Genoa. My property was in Sicily. That's where my family was from. Yeah, it was a long time ago, so it's no big deal. I just got a letter from a relative there that says you have. It wasn't much to talk about. There was just some, like a tiny, 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 and I mean tiny farmland vineyard type thing with a tiny little house, and it was mine. But it was mine, And because of the way things went, there was no way I was getting over there to be able to claim it. And you have to physically like be there in person to claim it to be yours. So in turn, it is what it is, Closest I want to get to outside the US is San Antonio. Hey, hey. Yeah, Bradford, PA. That's right. Not too far. Yes. Yeah, it would have been nice, Sluther. Would have been real nice. I wish I could have, because at that time I was a single guy. Um, and who knows where I'd have been right now. You guys probably would have never met me. So things happen for a reason, you know. My Nona was from Calabria. And Nona never. Oh, yes. My Nona was from Sicily. I had one from Sicily, and then it was weird because the other half of me, because I'm Italian and I'm Slovenian or Transylvanian, whatever you want to call it. It's weird the way they described it, but the other one is from Slovenia. So, yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. Everything happens for a reason. As I say, welcome Angie B from Central Oklahoma. Um, I would have never met. Probably, well, I knew my wife from high school, but we weren't a thing back then. She actually married one of my really close friends first, and I ended up marrying the creature and spent 9 years there. Welcome, Cynthia. Great to see you. Um, and I had my first three children. Did 9.5 years with the creature, as I call her. And there's reasons for those of you that are newer, you'll learn. And then became when I got divorced, I became friends with my current wife. I moved in an apartment across the street from her. And we became very good friends, mainly because I knew her from previous. She was divorced. I was divorced. Her kids were friends with my kids. She had three children. I had three children. And became, and this is important, I think, for a good relationship, guys. We became very good friends. We would hang out all the time, watch movies. Our kids would play together, cook dinners, do things like that. And her and I both were dating different people that were never working, and we would talk to each other about that stuff. And one day, it was always there. Everybody told us that, like, you two are supposed to be together. You two should be together. You two are gonna be together. And we're like, no, no, no. We're good friends. We're good friends. That's it. Well, here we are. May 7th, we will celebrate our 20-year wedding anniversary. And we've been together for 25 years this year, I think. So she's the most amazing thing that ever happened to me. I think these things are important. I'll stop rambling in a minute, guys. I promise. I think these things are important. But, the first relationship, the first marriage with the creature is a learning lesson. You learn all the things not to do in life. You learn who people are. You figure out how to sort through the monsters and the real people and all that kind of stuff, you know? So I did, she did. And now, I would never change anything that I've gone through in my life. Even the bad stuff, because you learn from all that stuff. So I have the love of my life. I still get butterflies when I see her. I miss her when she's not here. She's the love of my life, period. The most important person in my life, and always has been, And then there's my children, of course, that are there right with her. So, she had three, I had three. We have 7 children. She had 3 children. I had 3 children. We had a child together 3 years into us being together, who's the baby. He's 19. So, yeah, 7 children, guys, and we survived it. We survived it. We raised them all together. I am very blessed. Very blessed. She's an amazing, amazing woman, and she's got the biggest heart. She's so smart. I'm very lucky. Very lucky. And I figure you got to suffer a little bit to get what's good, and I did. Yes. Yeah, she is a beautiful person, inside and outside, a beautiful soul. She's so very smart. She's got 2 degrees in psychology, which helps me with this stuff a lot. Um, when we learn from each other day after day, and our kids are amazing. Even the ones that aren't the best, doing the best and thinking the best about things, they're still They're still very good kids for the most part. We have a couple that are, I guess you could call them bad apples per se in some aspects. Some struggles, but 7 kids is 7 kids, guys. When you go through that, you can go through anything, in my opinion. I am very blessed, Lisa. Thank you. Beach Babe, great to see you today. All right, let me check this real quick. And I'm sorry, I don't know where all that came from or why I just told you all that, but a lot of you have heard this already, but sorry. I like to talk about, I like to talk. So there's that. Obviously, I wouldn't be doing this, but I like to talk about the good things in my life on a regular basis and remind everybody, you know, it's all there, guys. Even if you don't have it and you don't think you have it, it's there somewhere and it will be there. Just 1 second, guys. I'm trying to check something. Okay, I see it in here. 11 other habits. I think it was done differently though. Thank you so very much for that. God bless. Um, I don't know that it went. Just 1 second, everybody. Trying to make sure this is all good. Is it going to work? All right. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat. Get comfortable, if you will. My apologies for the delay. Angie B, good to see you. Just a minute. I'm just trying to make sure this is working. My apologies for the delay, everybody. I don't like to leave you guys hanging. Okay. When did you send that? Love and Other Habits. It wasn't today, correct? I just want to clarify everything, make sure everything went through right. If it wasn't today, then everything's good. Anyway, welcome, guys. All of you guys. Be safe, Stitches. Thank you so much, Margaret. Wonderful to see you today, and thank you for that. Let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, I think we're good. That is amazing, Gladys. Got my handle Gladys from my wife because I'm always talking to the neighbors. We've been together 40 plus. She stole my heart back in high school. I can't imagine being with anybody else. There you go. See? Miss Tandy's in the house. Good to see you last 24. Thank you for joining us. What's up, Mikey? Beverly Fike, welcome. Excuse me. Uh-oh, you guys got bad storms heading that direction. No, no. It's the right weather. It's the right time of year. I'm sorry to hear that. Uh-huh. Oh, that means it could be coming this direction too, Stitches, because we're pretty close. That's awesome, Witchy. All right, guys. So, on we go. It is raining here too. Tomboy's driving. Good to see you, Tomboy. Teresa. All right. Moving forward, again, there is a link pinned to the top of the chat. If anybody wants to join this old man up here and hang out and discuss things, you're more than welcome. So, the Idaho case is helping to rehab the brain injury when the audacity. I mean, it's melting my. Well, yeah, I understand the whole brain injury thing. I got that scar there. I had surgery 26 years ago. It'll be good. You will be good. Oh yeah, we got to have that high chair for baby pain. That is for sure. All right. It is absolute therapy, you guys. That's why we do our music nights here from time to time. We completely detach from everything else we do. My son will join me as well, and we jump in and we play. I play music all night. We sing. We play instruments. We play songs through here. Sometimes we play our own songs on our instruments. Occasionally, from time to time, my son does it. He sings like a bird. Two of us will sing together sometimes. It is a thing that needs to happen from time to time, and it's a huge decompression tool. Welcome, Karmic. Good to see you. Witchy says, can I make a special music night request theme? What would that be, Witchy? Germilia, good to see you. Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun, Sleuther. I haven't done one in a while, but we will. I used to be a DJ, guys, and I'm a musician. My son's a musician. I'm pretty decent with the music. You can ask some of the others that have been here. It's pretty good. It's not too bad. Welcome, Claire View. Good to see you. We're going to bounce around whatever we get into, Claire, within the cases that we cover. And we're going to break them down just as we do. Probably some Idaho stuff, Nancy stuff, whatever else we got going on around us. It's an open discussion for that. So, yeah, they're kind of fun. They actually truly are. Thank you for being here, Germilia. Appreciate you very much. Beach Babe says, yes, we need a music night. There you go. That is a good idea. You have to send me an email to remind me on that, Witchy, or something in Discord if you're in there. That's awesome, Lisa. I'm a drummer. I play bass as well. I can slightly play the guitar and piano. My son plays guitar, bass, drums, piano, harmonica, saxophone, and he sings like a bird. Again, he's also on the spectrum, so he's got those. That's his focus is music, period. And we both write lyrics as well. And he can sing Saigon Kick, yes. Love is on the way. I can see it in your eyes. Amen to that one, too. Same here, Sluther. We can definitely do it in Discord as well. Very nice. Very cool. Hey, I love it all. To be honest with you guys, I love you guys that know me know this. I've played everything from Frank Sinatra to Dean Martin to Beethoven, Mozart. I play it all. I love it all. Music is music to me. And a true music lover, welcome, Ro. A true music lover loves it all. Now, I'll tell you now, and I'm not trying to be like mean or anything, but some of the new style rap type music I'm not a fan of just because I can't follow it. It's not really music to me. The newer stuff, okay? But 80s stuff I do love. Holy shnikes. Eddie's in the house. What is going on, buddy? Good to see you, one made nut. It has been a minute. Great to have you here, brother. Always, always happy to see you, sir. What a surprise it is. There you go, guys. There's your man, Eddie. For those of you that have been missing him, great to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. As they're saying to you, sir. I'm not a huge fan of trap music, Karmic. No, I'm sorry. I can't get to it. That's all. I'll try to figure out how to get on. The link is pinned at the top of the chat, buddy. If you want to click that link, you're welcome to. Come on up, brother. Oh, yes, I gathered as much, Karmic. I did. Take your time, Eddie. However you need, whatever you need to do, bud. Come on up here. Lose yourself. Yeah, I'm a fan of Eminem. He doesn't classify as new weird rap to me. Eminem is super talented. I can name just about almost any artist and song you were to put in front of me. So, not to be weird, but it's not weird at all. I've had many people tell me, and thank you for that. I appreciate that very much. Yes, Jesse, all of that. I love all that stuff. That is actually still music to me. Yes, it's not. I've had many people say, "Oh, you're talking about Eddie's voice, not mine." I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, many people do like Eddie's voice because it's very calm and soothing. So, sorry, I should not have just automatically thought you were talking about mine. My apologies. Um, absolutely. What is that? Speed mumble? Right? Yeah, I don't like that either. 80s, 90s, Sinatra. Yes, all that. It's all good stuff, guys. Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, Eddie's voice is very calming to me. You don't apologize. I'm sorry for automatically thinking that's what you guys meant. I thought when Germilia said that she was talking about me, so that was my stupidity. I'm sorry. Many, many, many people that have been here love Eddie's voice because it is very level, very calm, and very soothing. You know, it's not out there and crazy. So, but thank you, Stitches. I appreciate that. The Rat Pack, yes. All right, you guys. Let me get some stuff going. I'm sure you guys didn't come in here to listen to me talk about me all day or anything else. So let's see some things that were thrown at me in the background that I can throw at you. Thank you, Ro. I do really appreciate that. That means a lot to me, as I miss all of you when I'm not here. So thank you for that. That means everything. Truly, it does. Edo Scala, welcome, gang, gang. Good to see ya. Scully's in the house. Oh, you did mean mine. Okay. Well, thank you again very much, though. God bless. That means a lot. I appreciate that. Gang, gang, Scully. Oh, no, don't. You're good, brother. You know we love you over here. Well, I'm grateful that you guys do appreciate me, that you guys like being here, as I do all of you, and I enjoy spending the time with you guys that I do so very much. So, hello, hello. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you well.
Holy shit, buddy. I missed your voice. I missed you.
It's good to be back. Good to see everybody.
It
Hello.
is great to have you here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. I have a new microphone and a whole new like audio setup. So I just want to make sure somebody that's new well, not new, but hasn't been here for a minute, doesn't need
Right.
to readjust everything. That's all.
For whatever it's worth, it sounds like it always has in the past.
Okay, good. That's good. 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 It's great to have you here, sir.
It's good
You
to be
have
back.
Yes, as you can tell by the chat, myself and everybody has missed you so very much, sir.
I've missed you all as well.
Yes,
I've had a nice time off. I'm not going to sit here and lie about it. It's kind of
of course.
nice to have a break. But, you know,
Yeah,
it's also like a full-time job following this Idaho 4 Brian Kohlberger case.
that's
And it's a
that
job
is
that
an
I don't get paid
understatement.
for. So unfortunately, life has its other obligations and
Yes,
can't spend my entire life on it. Although I'd love to.
of course, of course. Since you've been here, we do have some newer people, as you'll see, that are saying it's nice to meet you, you guys.
Yes, I see that. Hello,
Yeah,
everybody that I
this,
haven't met before.
this is Eddie. This is he's a very huge part of our community and our family, and has been from the moment that he started here way back 3 something odd years ago with the Idaho 4 case. Very good friend to myself and the community as well. As you can tell, guys that are newer, he's very well loved. Very smart, intellectual, and just all around very good person, folks. So we're grateful that Eddie's part of our family.
I don't pretend to know everything about the case, but I guess I will claim that very early on, I could identify that there was a cover-up, a framing happening right before our eyes, and it was much earlier than many were able to see
And
it as that.
including myself. Yeah, it took a while for me.
And I wasn't the first. I'm not going to say I was. Many others have come out before I did and were able to see it and be brave enough to talk about it, even though there was strong pushback. So that inspired me to, find my voice and,
Yes,
stand in those ranks and also try to help explain that was the case, that this was an unusual case and there was something going on. Although you're never going to find a smoking gun in like the aha moment, you have to use your intuition, and there's I guess a process that you're going to have to be able to work through within your own logic to be able to identify that this is going on, although it's hard to believe.
it is a fact.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess, for those who I haven't met before, that kind of explains a little bit about my background in this case.
Yeah, yeah, and Eddie is very patient, guys. For those for those of you that don't know him, okay, Eddie is very patient and was very patient with me for 3 years. Okay, I always kind of bucked a little bit. I always bucked a little bit on some of the things that he would present and or offer up for me to see and hear, and a lot of us. Okay, and I would buck like, okay, you guys know I'll look at everything and I'll listen to everything, but I would buck some of the things. And at some point, roughly about almost a year ago now, I finally opened my eyes all the way, saw the light, and said, you know what? You are absolutely correct, my friend. And I jumped off the fence where I sat for 3 years and jumped over into the 100% innocent side to that thing, to that part of the case. And it took a long time, but I always tried to stay in the middle of this to try to wait, I guess, to wait till they were to show us that proof. And I was told numerous times, they're not going to show us that proof, Dago. It's not going to happen, Dago. You're never going to see that, Dago. Okay. But, stubborn is as stubborn is. So, and at one point, roughly, I think after all that other stuff started coming out, I finally said, you know what? This is ridiculous. I see it for what it is. So, like I said, Eddie's had a lot of patience with myself and many others because of that, because of what he's been saying almost literally from like the very beginning almost. Okay. It was almost instant, in my opinion. Hey, Wade Bird. So, yes, Eddie's back. Um, so it was a long haul, but we got to that point. And again, the patience level, and you got to understand, Eddie, how much I appreciated your patience and being able to withstand and to take all the BS that came from a lot of this and the misunderstanding of things and not listening to things and just, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I know what you mean. It was
you know,
brutal
you're,
at times, but I worked through it. I was able to
yes,
push
yes.
through.
And speaking, yeah, he wasn't very comfortable coming on panels in the beginning, folks, believe it or not. So,
No, I wasn't. And
and that
still,
stuff,
I'm not entirely, but getting better, working
yeah,
through that too.
yeah. And that stuff didn't help though. That's the thing.
No, it didn't help.
Not at all. But we're beyond that now and all that. So that's good stuff.
Also, I'm not good at having like spontaneous conversations where there's multiple talking points and going through them at breakneck speed without much resolve, like talking
Right.
about this thing and then abruptly moving on to this thing and what about that, and it kind of derails me and I'm not able to function like that. I function much better where I can take a topic and then just go through it thoroughly and examine all the fine points that I can and have a discussion about it and just
Yeah.
try to I guess grok like
Yes.
they would say in the book Stranger in a Strange Land by Robert Heinlein. I'm sure most of you are familiar with that term by now.
Definitely.
To understand it completely as best we can. So that's kind of the way I operate the best. Speaking of which, I have emailed you this morning, Dago. I don't know if you got it. I'm sure you did. If not, let me know.
I'm looking right now.
But what it says in a few words is I have,
I do
like
see
in the
it now.
past, I have put together some thoughts concerning the Idaho 4 case, the Brian Kohlberger case. So
Let's do it. That's what we're doing today, buddy. You picked the right time, the right day. And yes, I'm looking at it right now. And thank you for that. So I'm sure everybody in here has no problem. I did with doing this today. That's kind of like I said, it's a true crime catch up, open discussion on Idaho 4, Nancy Guthrie, anything else that we picked, and you're here doing Idaho. So most everybody in here is a huge Idaho follower, so that will work perfectly fine for me. So
we can do it today. If there's also other days that would work for you, then I'm available to do it then too. We can just have an open discussion and go topic to topic. I know there's the Nancy Guthrie case as well, and who knows what else. But if
whatever works for you, brother.
Okay, because I would need to like prepare just a little bit. I'm gonna have like 4 videos that accompany to like I guess illustrate my talking points.
Okay.
Not that we're gonna go through the entire video, just more like a clip of them, maybe a half minute to a couple minutes long.
As we've done in the past, right?
As we've done in the past, yeah. So if we can,
Whatever,
yeah, if
whatever
you want
works
to
for you.
plan for a different day, and that would be fine too. Otherwise,
Okay.
I might have to like jump off a panel and email you these videos, and then come
Okay.
up back on panel. But
Well, yeah, if you, whatever you want to do, if, because I have other things that we can talk about. If you want to do that, go do that. And while we're talking about a different topic or whatever you want to do, or if you want to do it a completely different day, it's up to you. I'm comfortable with
do
it
it
either
a
way.
different day. Gives everyone something to
Okay.
look forward to. There's a teaser there.
Sure.
Gives everyone a
Sure.
reason to come back.
Sounds like a plan.
And
We'll
then
do it that way.
through emailing, we can, I guess, pinpoint the day, and then that'll give me time to like prepare before you go live and get everything over to you in emails that I need to, so that it'll be kind of seamless, you know, for
That's
everybody.
That works for me, sir. Absolutely, 100%. And yes, I did finish taping with Andrew Myers yesterday. It was a great show. It should be released sometime this weekend. I don't know the exact date and time, but it'll be out there. It was a great show with him and Yoli. We did go back to, Andrew had emailed me. You guys remember the show we did the other day, and we were talking about the, of course, sorry. Whoa, just lost my train of thought there. We were talking about the prosecutorial misconduct, Bill Thompson in specific misconduct, and I brought into question once again, because we had a list of things we covered that were considered misconduct and could be, okay? So at that point, I went into the Gabriela Vargas intimidation factor when she testified early on in the case, and less than a couple days later, the FBI was sent to her house as an intimidation factor by Mr. Bill Thompson. So we discussed that, okay? And Andrew said that he was mesmerized by the way I conversated on that specific thing and the things I brought up with it. He very much watches us on a regular basis, he said, and he really loved that conversation. So he wanted to have me over there to discuss it with him and Yoli. We did, amongst a couple other things. It was a great show. So if you guys are, interested, please go check it out. I do think you'll enjoy it. It's a great one. I'm a big fan of Andrew Myers. Have been. He's a great attorney, and he does great with this stuff as well. So I don't know. Have you followed him, Eddie? Have you seen? I know we've done some stuff with him while you were here, but I don't know about you personally. If you follow him,
just during those occasions, I don't follow him per se.
Gotcha.
But I'm familiar with who that is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a while, Dago. Speaking of following, as far as the Idaho case, just kind of like infrequently have been following, since we've spoken last, which, by the way, I think it was November 2nd was the last time I was on your panel.
It's been a while, yeah.
So about a little over 4 months.
Yeah, definitely.
And since then, I really don't get around to following much about the new, documents that are being disclosed.
Sure.
What do they call it? Released.
Absolutely. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. You all know what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely, yes. And there hasn't been a whole lot. There's been some mishaps that have happened. There were some new photographs that were released. I don't know if you were here for this or not, but just to give you a catch up real quick. There were some new photographs released, crime scene photographs that were very in depth and kind of threw a whole lot of new perspective on this case. And it caused a lot of people, even believe this or not, Eddie, guilters to start looking a different direction, because mostly, in my opinion, Xana's bedroom, the photographs from Xana's bedroom made people go, hold on, something's wrong. First and foremost, if Brian did this, there's no way that man did it himself. Seeing this, there were some slip ups in there where they showed actual victims in the photographs. Accidentally, it was stated. So they pulled the photographs down. And they, I guess, released them in more redacted per se, which, of course, over here, we already have them all anyway. We had them the moment they were released. So we went through all those photographs, looked at everything. analyzed as best we could, one by one, and looked at everything and said, yeah, there's no way that if this man was involved, he did it by himself. But you know me, I don't think he had any involvement whatsoever. Um, so that happened. And then there was a document release. This was interesting. Where they released, they were doing, Hitler was releasing the documents that were to be unredacted at that point. And when they did, somebody did something wrong and they released everything, Eddie. That, like, and I mean, social security numbers, dates of birth, phone numbers, addresses, names that weren't supposed to be in anything. So it was all released. And of course, we grabbed everything as fast as we could and they pulled it all back down real quick. I think probably 8 hours later, but it was too late because most people had it. Now they did lock out the cloud link at some point where once you go out of it, you go back in. You couldn't get back in, but we have it, most of it saved. So that was an interesting scenario when that happened. And we talked about, was it done on purpose? Is there somebody over there that's saying, I'm sick of this shit, this is ridiculous, and they did it on purpose? Or was it truly an accidental drop that wasn't supposed to happen? So that happened. Jules received the 1112 light bulb cam audio and videos. She went and FOIA'd all of those from the raw source from MPD. And we went through a lot of that, listening to the audio and so on and so forth. And she received one video that had no audio to it. So that's been in question since. And all of this stuff, by the way, many creators have FOIA'd things. Many of us have sent out letters to like the Department of Justice. Another channel that I collaborate with every evening now, Devil's Advocates, he sent out many, many letters because of, calling into question the case and why the things are the way they are. So a few of us have stood up and said, okay, enough is enough. It's time for us to get some truth out of this. You need to explain yourselves, so on and so forth. And of course, there's not been much of anything that's happened from that. They're still holding their line tight, making sure that they don't give us what we should be getting, and the lies continue to fall. Recently, we did receive, this was just the past week or two, 2 weeks, I believe. We did receive the actuality to the Dylan's messages and phone calls and her activity on her phone that night. And we really broke that down and went through it. And then I've done a couple shows since saying, hey, what's different now? That was it was, the way it was before. Now that we've seen this, we've done a lot of that. And it's proof too, Eddie, that Dylan herself, at the very least, lied multiple times about things. There was no sleeping going on, as we all know. There was none of the stuff that we were told was true to form at all at this point. So,
and the thing is, and we've touched on this in the past, if you can prove that Dylan is lying, then at the same time, you've proven that it is the state's lie.
Yes.
I hope everyone understands that.
And what he's saying, folks, is because if Dylan's lying, go ahead.
The prosecution would know. I mean, if the likes of us know, given what we're given, and it's very limited compared to what this, the prosecution and the state would have.
As they do, yes.
So it's the state's lie because they're endorsing it, and they're probably, I don't know, maybe that's the origin of the lie. And they're encouraging it. And
that's the big thing right now is, did it start with the state, then go to Dylan? Did it start with Dylan and the state picked it up and ran with it? How did it work, folks? Either way, it happened. We know now that it happened. We know now. And there again goes back to what I did the other day with the prosecutorial misconduct. They know, as we believe everybody knows. We know that Moscow knows. We know that the state knows. We know that the judge knows that this is nothing like what happened. None of this is real. Okay. So I did not, Tomboy. Is there something in there we should review? Because if we should, we will. Lana's always good with pulling these pieces out. Lana's been doing a lot of stuff. We've all been working pretty hardcore on this to try to expose this stuff, the best we can. and little by little by little by little. So okay, hey Jennifer, good to see you. So we will, I guess, we'll review that then, and we'll pick apart that. That's a good idea, Tomboy. Thank you for that. I'll check that out. Um, many things, many things. There's always something to talk about with this. That's the thing, believe that or not. We've run down to about almost nothing at this point as far as new stuff goes, but there's always something that we can turn and look at and talk about again that has not changed.
Funny you said that, because the material, the topic that I would like to cover, it's nothing new. I'm not going to bring anything brand new
Sure.
to you, but what
Sure.
it is it's stuff that is well, it's so old right now that it might even seem new, because you know how fragile people's memory is.
Of course.
The fragility of memory. We forget a lot that we have once learned, and so what we'll be talking about when we do is stuff that we've already seen and we already know, but we're just going to examine it in a different way and kind of package it in a different way than we've had discussions about it before.
Right. And here's the thing. This is what we've been doing too, Eddie. So it kind of fits right in. It is what needs to be done. I feel at this point is I've been going back to the closer to the beginning of the case, to old things, and reanalyzing them in a different way because of things that we've learned most recently, and so on and so forth. And so yeah, that's what we've been doing. Hey, welcome 1-1. Eddie,
Hey.
have you met 1-1 before, Eddie?
I have not.
Okay, 1-1. This is Eddie. I'm sure you've heard me talk about him many times. 1-1 is a New York City Police Department captain, Eddie, and he is one of the co-hosts on the Crimes After Dark show that I run with Devil's Advocates every night. So he's a good asset, another good part of our community as well. So it's good that you two are meeting. Grateful for that to happen now.
How are you doing?
Good. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And 1-1's 100% in the same boat that we are, Eddie. So no worries there.
That was a quick question that I had. You were talking moments ago before 1-1 came up. You had said, with the material, the case file that's slowly being unredacted and made public. Is it slowly turning people's opinion? And you touched on that. You said, generally, yeah, even some of the people who were once guilters.
Yes.
Is that, you think, like the ranks of those who are seeing shenanigans is growing? Is that kind of resulting from
definitely
those 4 months since I've been?
It has.
Yeah, definitely, because you can't. Just to touch on that quick, you can't possibly look. So I know you said you were gone like 4 months. They had a big crime scene drop. Now I have a whole issue, obviously, with the crime scene. I'm not going to go into the whole thing now, but 2,700 photos dropped, and there's no way that you can look at those photos. Okay, even if you just have a real basic knowledge of a crime scene, if you've just even in someone who has a basic knowledge, there's no way you could see the photos from that and see, especially the room of where Xana and Ethan were found. I mean, that place was a bloodbath, and that's the only thing I can think of is probably why they didn't even bother trying to clean it up, because there was just so much shit. The only thing I guess that was done per se as like a cleanup, I guess, was just trying to make sure there were no footprints around, because that definitely was done. There's no way. Yeah. There's no way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many people, whatever it is whatever theory it is you want to believe that happened inside of Xana's room, there's no footprints.
Right.
So there's some kind of cleanup, and there's no way that. So even going by the actual, the actual documents, so the official documents, is I know people say like, oh, they're lying and they doctored this and they missed this and they missed that, and that is correct. We have numerous. Ilana has been very good at that too. A bunch, Dago, a bunch of us. There are many reports, police reports, in this specific case that don't match the actual. So you have a report based on an interview, right? And you read the report, and then eventually a few months later, from a FOIA request, and we see the interview of that report, and sometimes the report doesn't match the interview. Like they leave, key pieces are left out or not. But anyway, the point is that there's no way you could see those photos and believe that Brian Kohlberger did this crime within, like, I think based on everything and everything that happened, the state was basically saying that the whole event occurred within like a 3-minute period. It's not possible. There's no, it's not possible for the fact that they're releasing that Xana definitely was fighting her attacker too, or attackers. To believe that one person did this whole thing, did part of the cleanup, left in his car. They basically scraped his car down to the bones, found not even one small speck of any kind of DNA, nothing. It's just not, it's not believable. So I think the crime scene photos, and that's where Howard Bloom and some of the that's Megyn Kelly, and that's where some of these people are now in mainstream are starting to turn a little bit, not yet saying that necessarily that Kohlberger is innocent, but at the least that there's more than one perpetrator that was involved with this.
Good point. Good point. Did you catch all that, Eddie?
I did, yes.
All right, give me 1 second. If you want to respond, go for it, Eddie.
Yeah. So how do you think? How do you feel about? Did you get to look at the photos, Eddie? Or
I've only looked at a few.
Okay.
Since I've kind of stepped away and taken a little break from the case.
Right.
The information that they're unredacting and making public, it in some degree it doesn't really interest me too much, although of course I am curious, but it doesn't interest me from the standpoint that it's not going to do anything to change my position. I've always felt
what is your
Brian
position?
Kohlberger, not only is he innocent, but he was framed and he's innocent, but he has no part in this at all. Not even, like a minor part.
Right.
So
right.
It's
I'm not,
I guess investing
yeah.
a lot of time in
Yeah.
looking at information is just going to reaffirm that.
Right. But I get what you're saying. But it is still nice to see like info coming out that does kind of back up. But I get what you're saying. Like, I mean, pretty much the smoke. Said pretty much. Our favorite word, our favorite line.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I follow.
The smoking gun per se, I guess what we're waiting for is Cy Ray, right? Because Cy Ray, we're hoping that Brian Kohlberger, somewhere along the line here, does file for PCR post-conviction relief, and I believe that there is enough, and I believe it is going to happen. I think that they're just trying to finish up this leak investigation behind the scenes, and I know everyone thinks like, oh, that's probably not even going on, or they're not going to release updates on an internal investigation like that. It's like an investigation that's basically about the integrity of the, behind. Then that's you won't know. We won't know about it until it's finished. So I believe that is what's holding up a bunch of stuff, and once that is complete or near complete, I believe then, and I'm pretty sure that the leak came from the state side, but they'll do their investigation, I guess. I think that once that happens, then BK will be able to do his post conviction relief, and he has multiple avenues. There's so many different options he has of using Cyray. Just citing Cyray is just one of the examples. As we have said a million times, I believe Hitler, beyond a shadow of a doubt, abused his power to no end. It is not for Hitler it's not for the judge to decide whether someone is an accurate, if the state or the defense, if they have an expert and they're able to provide the credentials, proven credentials, not just some jack in the box license. Like, you're talking about someone who's testified in tons and tons of cases. It's 20 years plus of law enforcement experience. Basically, the expert that has gone around the country teaching all different agencies and law enforcement groups about cell phone data and all kinds of stuff. And it's not for Hitler to decide, oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. No, he can't test it. That's not what Hitler's job is. Hitler, again, it's like he was a third arm of the state, and that's not what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be there to make sure that the trial runs fairly. That's what he's supposed to do. And all he should have given as an argument to the state, obviously, that didn't want Cyray testifying, was, well, either you guys get your own expert to counter what Cyray says, or you do that, as well as you cross-examine Cyray. That's your option. Not to argue on behalf of the state. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. And we could see that in real time. No one wants to call another corrupt or a liar. And to do so, you need proof before doing it. If you want to call them out and be assured in yourself.
Right.
But
I mean, what is he trying
in real time?
Yeah.
When we were going through watching all the hearings, we could tell, many could tell, that is.
Real quick, gentlemen, I don't mean to interrupt, but Ms. Mamakins, congratulations, happy day anniversary on 13 months. That's amazing. We love and appreciate you just as much. So thank you for that and being part of our community here. Absolute. So,
I mean, you're right. You're right. You're right 1,000%. I mean, because what does that mean? If you were to take Hitler's word there, like he's the gospel. Oh, Hitler said, because Hitler said that he's a conspiracy theorist. Now, what does that mean for all the cases? What's about all the cases that Cyray testified on? Are they null and void now because Hitler made this decision? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. He overstepped, misused, and abused his power.
And that's one of the, if you look up post-conviction relief, that is one of the many avenues that BK, that he would be able to file under that. I believe it's if you have an expert that wants to, that's not allowed to testify, or for whatever the reason is, that's one of the main things, and then of course we could go. There's probably another 100 other items and things that we that we could go through, but that's just one.
Absolutely. So, any thoughts, Eddie, at all before we move forward on anything?
No, we can move forward.
So, Tomboy pointed out that Lana had done something last night, which was actually, I scanned it a little bit, actually pretty interesting. So, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to review this real quick. Thanks for joining us up here, by the way, 1-1. Appreciate you always.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I think that's a little too large. Yeah, it is. Nobody.
I did want to say something real quick before you put Lana's thing on. I saw that there's something that was going around, something about Maddie's jacket or something. Did you see any of that?
Yeah, Christy found conveniently, I guess what she's saying is Maddie's jacket, and it had a piece of the macaroni and cheese that Maddie was eating that night in it.
Right.
This is starting to weird me out because I said this before when she pulled out Haley's jacket that had the receipt from the grub truck in it. I stated right away, and I know you'll agree with this, being a law enforcement officer, that should be in evidence.
Yeah, what the heck was that?
So now we have Maddie's jacket being found and pulled out, and there's evidence in that as well. Guys, what is going on with this? This is ridiculous. I know this is a family.
It is.
There's something wrong with this, okay? How are these things not in evidence? I know it's a piece of macaroni and cheese that's dried out, but that jacket should be in evidence. Both jackets should be in evidence if they were worn the night of the murders, in my opinion. I mean, you agree or disagree?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, but yeah, Christy put out another video and showing this one now. And are we going to get, is she going to, like, what's coming next? You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Right. And is this is the jacket? Is this, because I didn't, I said I just heard about it quick. Is this the jacket that was found outside?
It wasn't. See, that's why I said the one that was outside.
Is this the jacket that she was wearing, like at the food truck and whatever?
Yeah, that's the one she was wearing at the food truck. And let me see if I can find this real fast. I'll show it to you real quick.
Black oversized jacket.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was like. I heard it was like XL or XXL. It was like really extra. It was like a really large jacket.
Yeah. I think it was just like maybe her boyfriend's or a guy's jacket that she had, which is why I was, or she just bought it oversized. But,
what? That's huge. That would be huge for her. XXL.
Very, because she's tiny. Yeah, agreed. Yeah. So here we go. Let me show you real quick. For those of you that haven't seen this by some chance, 1 minute here. So. Here we go. Let me move this and turn this off for right now so you guys can see this. Again, this is off their Facebook page. The mysterious black jacket that Maddie was wearing. At one point, I think everyone has asked whose jacket was Maddie wearing. It was huge, so we all know it did not belong to her. Well, I still don't know whose jacket it is, but I have found the jacket. I had one last box to go through of Kaylee's, and inside was this big old black jacket. I took it out, holding it up by the hood above my head, so I could barely keep the bottom from touching the ground. I thought, what the heck, and looked inside for the size. It was a 2XL. As I was looking at it, because Maddie would wear it the very most, maybe a medium, I would think, but okay. Maybe, because she's tiny, very tiny.
Yeah, because I used to wear double XL, and I lost 140 pounds. I wear like a large now, and that's even big on me. So double XL on her would be absolutely humongous.
She's very small framed, exactly.
Yeah,
so, where to go? As I was looking at it, suddenly it hit me. Oh my gosh, this is the jacket that Maddie was wearing. I instantly started going through the pockets, and what I found inside initially confused me. Then at the same time, it hit me exactly what it was. I couldn't help but cry, and of course, not sure how it got there, but I know without a doubt that Maddie was wearing this jacket that night. I will be giving it to Karen, and I will post the pics to see if anyone gets it. So there's the macaroni from the macaroni and cheese that Maddie was eating with her hands in the back of the um DoorDash or the the rideshare driver's vehicle. So this is the jacket. So and guys, I told you guys many times that the jacket they found on the fire hydrant did not belong to Maddie, in my opinion.
Right.
It never did. Okay. It just
Yeah.
kind of it looked familiar, but
Right.
there it is.
Right.
Um I mean, I don't understand, and I'm not saying I understand they've given this maybe because the case is over and he's been convicted. That's why they're getting these things back now. So I get it, I guess, but still, it's odd that that receipt was given back. It's odd that this is
Yeah.
different, but this was in her pocket. Obviously, she had stuck her hand in her pocket at one point in time. But were these things? Here's my question though: were these tested for DNA? Because we don't know. Who knows if they were wearing these jackets or whatever when anything happened. But I'm just saying it makes you wonder. But that's the deal right there. 1-1. If you hadn't seen it, so
Right. Thank you.
I'm gonna have to check and see. It says Maddie. There's somebody in the chat said Maddie's didn't have a hood. So, it does look different though, doesn't it? It looks a little different to me compared to what, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's just because of the video we were watching.
I don't see the purpose of posting that if you think deeply about that. I mean, other than to elicit an emotional response.
That's exactly what it is, Eddie, right there.
Right.
They want, and again, in all due respect, because of what they've been through, that's what they're trying to do is they're reaching out for sympathy in my opinion. That's all I'm saying. I think it's because of what they're going against right now with the WSU lawsuit. I don't know if you followed any of that, Eddie, but it's become a thing. Okay. It was moved up to the federal level, so on and so forth. And they're going after $4 million. One person from each family's involved now. And it's a thing. It truly is a thing now. So are they trying to elicit sympathy so that people will support them through this? I don't know. But you're right. That's the only thing that this could do is to elicit an emotional response. I agreed.
Yeah. I think that's it.
I mean, it. What else would it be for, guys?
Right.
Honest to God, what else would she do it with Kaylee's jacket for? An emotional response, in my opinion. Right. I don't see anything else that would make any sense. There's nothing you're going to gain from it. Am I wrong?
Right. No.
So now, just to be sure, so everybody, there's no disagreements on this. I'm going to pull the grub truck thing real fast just to make sure that we see her jacket and make sure that it looks like this, because I know people are going to have issues with this. There's some of the photographs. That was another thing too, by the way, Eddie. I don't know if you caught that, but the Gonsalves did an interview with Nancy Grace, which was literally and absolutely disgusting the way Nancy acted, which I'm sure you're not surprised with.
Yeah, if it's typical of her usual, then I can imagine.
I agree. Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
But the guns, and it was kind of ironic, and I went off about it. The Gonsalves family, Stephen Christie, I should say, in the interview said that it discussed them that people are out here making money off the backs of the loss of the life of their daughter. As they're talking to, and I looked it up right there and showed it, they're talking to a woman who netted $24 million this past year by doing nothing but that. And they're talking to her, saying it to her. And of course, she didn't respond to that, but the rest of us are the devil because of that.
Yeah,
so,
it's directed at the likes of you.
Yes. But it's okay to talk to Nancy, who does it, and Ashley, who does it, and Brian, who does it, and they're all making insane money. We're not making anything out here. It's disgusting. Yeah. So, and all we're doing is trying to help them to get to the truth about what truly happened to their loved one. That's why we're here. but do we make some kind of money? Of course, this is my job. Okay, period. This is what I do. And a lot of other people are the same. Devil's advocate. This is his job. Sometimes it's a hobby for people. It's not. This is my job, folks. And I put 4 years into this, and a heart and soul and time and effort. And it's what I do. End of story. And I'm not purposely going out here trying to make money off the death of your child. That's not why. I'm trying to find the truth as to why your child died, because obviously we were not told that. So anyway.
Daigle.
Yes, sir.
They know that. They know
of
that
course.
It's directed at the likes of us.
Absolutely.
And they know that, and I wanted to talk about this a little bit before we moved on, but that's all right.
Do it. Let's do it.
I'm just going to try to fit this in right now. We were talking about how the releasing, the unredacting of some of this case file has affected people's opinion. And, many times in the past, I've spoken about how there's two camps here, and
right.
Everyone knows what I mean by that.
Absolutely.
And those who are, as we'd call them, the guilters, many of them know that he's innocent, and they're just playing like they think he's guilty.
Right.
Some maintain that he's guilty because, changing their opinion now would make them feel foolish. Some feign belief in his guilt to spite the other camp, in other words, trolls. Some hold their position to maintain their loyalty to the ones they're supporting and following. Some even maybe getting paid to push the false narrative. It's not a stretch to consider that.
No, it's not at all. I think we can all agree that that's a fact at this point. Yes.
And so to my point is, I believe the Gonsalves family are very smart, and I believe they know what's going on. And there is a reason for all this. And it's kind of a sneak preview in a general sense of what we'll be talking about, when the time is right for me and Dago to set that day up. But we're kind of scratching on the surface of it, and it's very important to talk about. But I won't go into it at depth here. But real quickly, a guilty pleasure recently of mine has been following the Nancy Guthrie case.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
By watching JLR's channel. I've refused to subscribe to him. A little bit of background because of his position on the Brian Kohlberger case. But I'm kind of, I guess, in the know of what's going on with the Nancy Guthrie case, because I have been following that a little bit. But I've noticed that anytime he gets an opportunity to interject about, like when he's supposing something like, a lone killer, remember that Idaho 4 case, and he'll always throw it out there. And
it's funny you said that, Eddie, because they all do that.
They all do that.
Every single person goes right back to Idaho to compare it.
That bull crap position, and they all know it's BS too. By the way, they know it. You just can't
I've heard Nancy, Ashley, Brian. They all say, at this point, guys, we're doing this, this, and this, and just like with Brian Kohlberger, the convicted killer in the Idaho 4 case, they make sure they say that. And they put it out there repeatedly. So, and I still think it's part of their narrative as they drive the propaganda to make sure that people still think and believe that Brian's guilty on that side of things. And it's really kind of sickening to me how they do that. So,
yeah, I just wanted to share that.
No, it's a good point, buddy. And we're going to jump into some Nancy Guthrie stuff here just in a little bit too. So I'm glad that you have a little bit of know on that, which I kind of figured you would, because it's quite interesting. So, and 1-1 has followed that with us as well, as everybody in here. So, and there's not a lot of new stuff with that, but there's a few things I want to discuss with you guys about that have popped in, and some ideas I have too. So, but let's go through this with Alana real quick. I think Tomboy has it set to the point that it is. So let's check this out. See what Miss Lana had to say, guys. If you have not yet subscribed to Truth and Transparency, please do that. You can't go wrong. listen to what Lana has to say about this. She's always got something interesting out there. She puts in a lot of hard work. So, and of course, we love Lana. I do to death. So, thank you, Grace. I appreciate that so very much. God bless, hon. All right, let's check it out.
There happened.
Oh, maybe.
But
Hold on a minute.
I think the bigger question is why the fuck was it ever muted, right? Why was it ever muted?
One second, you guys. The audio is not playing. Let me figure out what happened here. Welcome, Sylvia. Good to see you today. Thank you. Thank you, Tandy, for.
And I don't think that anybody should have to pay for all of this fake work, to be honest. You know what I mean? The hours that it took to do all
Can
this.
you guys hear this?
Never cost us. Because there was nothing to redact.
Yes, we can hear it.
You know, upload, press down, go. Like, how could it cost $1,500 if you think about it? Okay. And this is when I was saying that Moscow, they need to be sued. Because this is extortion, in my opinion. This is fucking crazy.
Family fight against the truth coming out as much as this one has. And the fact that they've basically demanded transparency from the investigation the entire time, and now the transparency is happening, and they are literally out of their own faces telling us to not read documents. Come on. And that's
okay. Now, moving on. I was interested in, they found Maddie's jacket. You guys know this, right? The family found Maddie's jacket. And I said, well, whose jacket is it? The black jacket that she was wearing, there had a macaroni piece in it. So, like, who? Let me show you. So all of that, just wow. Oof. Let's see. God. Hold on. Okay, this is a year, 2 years ago. Now we haven't heard from them in forever.
I think the obvious one is visibility, the cast visibility report. Maybe I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up because
oh, they cast via cell traces.
Because there's a lot of different things that Viz could mean. I think.
And gave his DNA, and
so then I said to myself, what are the odds when I was looking this up that, because I never covered this whole whatever Steve.
Thank you for that, Mamakins. I agree. We have plenty of room in our community and all in our hearts for anybody that would like to know this community. They're always welcome. So make sure you guys share this out and let everybody know we exist over here if you can.
No sound, Daigle.
Did you guys lose sound?
Yeah, there's no sound.
What the hell happened now? Hold on. I don't know what's going on today with this. Sorry, guys. 1 minute. 1 minute. All right. Let me know how if you can hear it now.
Let's see. God.
Sorry about that. I had no idea why.
Yeah, I hear it.
Okay. Good deal. Again, welcome all you guys jumping in here. Appreciate you very much.
Freaking out, him taking off at 4:21 a.m.
It's all on camera. From what I've been told, his car, Murphy freaking out, him taking off at 4:21, which is basically, 4:20 and 50 some seconds, 40 some seconds.
That's another really interesting thing is everyone kept saying it was so silent. It was so quiet. Why?
And this is interesting because we all know that this doesn't exist. So that's an absolute untruth.
It wasn't the dog barking. Well, for one, that's not what we heard from the PCA. The PCA literally says Dylan heard things. Also, that the dog was barking. That there's distorted audio and there's a dog barking on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we know that things were heard. We know that the dog was barking. We know that,
guys, the jacket was found in Kaylee's room. I pointed this out when we went through all the crime scene photos. That big jacket that Maddie was wearing was found in Kaylee's room, and it was put in a bin that went to Kaylee.
there was noise. It was not quiet.
Yeah.
That I feel like we can throw that whole "it was quiet" out the window. It's all on camera from what I've been told.
Well, we don't know exactly whom, but lots speculated Brent Kapaka. We can't find death certificate, and that whole situation is just odd. No comment. That sounds okay. I agree that's something with BK and Keely. I always feel Keely knew something more about something she wasn't supposed to know because of the search warrants kind of be similar. I was going through the warrants and they seemed to hone in on Keely.
car, Murphy freaking out, him taking off at 4:20, saying right, and got right, the one who helped connect them with a great.
I have to keep the witness under wraps. The FBI warned me they don't play games with protected informants, and they could be monitoring everything I say. We've noticed some quite odd communications behaviors. Okay, so guess who the protected witness is? Molly. Fucking Molly. Molly was this protected witness. That's what my take is on that. She's the only person that nobody like knew about. Molly. Why did you stop working with Bloom? Some other author wanted to work with us. Peterson, I think. Patterson it was, though. Well, he wanted me to do all this digging, and I was kind of on a different trail. He was more about the mainstream stuff, and I'm after the truth. Nothing bad happened. I just got busy digging, and I think, expected me to just bend over backwards for things he needed right then. But I was working for him, if something know what I mean.
Peterson.
Okay.
And that the Peterson guy is the one who helped connect them with a grand jury member. Interesting, right? Who the into.
I can't believe something we're out together before. Have you seen this? Oh my God, no, I haven't. $12:28 a.m.
The apartment, like where all those cars are parked and stuff, and
Okay.
asked if she's seen it. And also the video of that guy grabbing something out of the dumpster that we've talked about before.
Yep.
Weird.
Yep.
And that Jack did a lie detector.
Yep. I remember when Fry would just say, both Jacks have been cleared. We don't get that information anymore. Jack has kind of re-entered the chat, if that makes sense, but we all want to respect your family. And if y'all say Jack's not involved, we believe you. Jack did a lie detector and he gave his DNA. But Adam, Jack, and Jack's whole story was always suspicious from the start. I'm 100% following you. Those cameras also show him entering his house and going to bed.
And gave his DNA, and there are cameras. He can't get to their house without being on camera, or at least not very easily. And that Brian Koberger is toast over the cast. Viz.
The cast Viz, which guess what? The cast Viz is all shit. So like, that's where I know that for a fact right there, like Steve was lied to about the cast Viz. You know what I mean? Like, you guys, you have to look at it so many different ways here. You know, I've said this so many times. If I repeat something that somebody tells me, am I the liar, or is the person that told me not the truth the liar? So
Cast Viz cell traces, the grand jury member said. What?
You asked about Dylan. Do you know if she left that night? They said they shouldn't have even called them as witnesses. They didn't help at all. That's interesting. Because Dylan plays what seems to be the only role in the time frame. Yeah, exactly. I guess now, besides all this footage, they created more questions than answers. Dylan did. Well, yeah, because duh.
What does Viz mean? VIS.
Cast Viz.
After cast.
I mean,
or is he misspelling again?
I think probably.
That makes sense. Yeah, I 100% agree. Now that she's talking about, they create more questions than answers. Remember, once we got the reports, you guys, this created, when this came out on the internet, back when the trial was still on schedule, back in the day, this created Payne and ISP having to go and what they claim is allegedly go and try to talk to, you know, Gray and Steve and ask them questions about this, of which they refused to respond. Remember that? Um,
They shouldn't have even been called as witnesses. They didn't help only roll to the time frame. I guess now, besides all this footage, and Steve says
to come out and explain it, right? And look, if Brian
the
Koberger
heck?
ends up being proven to be the guy and be guilty,
he
Okay.
said he wanted to speak with.
Did he cut himself shaving? Okay, go inside the house and hear things firsthand. This book will be released before the trial, and he putting that in the book and why he said he wanted to speak with us. What? We've been going back to beginning and looking through socials and the times. Let me know if Jenna was a part or you have heard anything about any of the girls. We have been fighting to keep the house mowing this. We have been fighting to keep the house. Yeah. The house should stay. It's so important, in my opinion. That is odd on the timestamp. I don't know. Could be random. Just wanted your feelings. The girls surrounding her.
Us.
You seem like
And they're trying to fight the house being torn down. Basically, that makes sense. It shows cars all parked in the front, and we have talked about a white truck passing there. It comes from here because in this, Brett Norton claims she's the one who released that. That she put out information Steve was giving her, and people were telling her that they were basically giving her crap online about it. And Steve says about this picture that the camera is way closer and shows them getting dropped off. No one was getting killed at 156.
just taking us down memory lane on a Friday night.
That means this had to have catched the DoorDash. It had to have caught the DoorDash too from Linda Lane. It just wasn't at 1122 King.
But don't take my word on that. Honestly, only a few of us hers. If it is so hard, so we're working on cleaning up audio. It could be anything like a TV, but that's what we're working on right now is that audio dissecting it. Look at this timestamp. Got it. This camera is way closer and shows the girls getting dropped off. No one was getting killed at 156. I don't think anybody was getting killed at 156, but I definitely have issues with Keely and Maddie's phone never moving after 2:53.
And we've all multiple, like Lana, myself, Jules, definitely have all FOIA'd to try to get other cameras that may show whatever the hell they're saying here. They don't exist according to them. They've all given the same answer to this. So it after knowing that, guys, the only thing you can venture to say is that that was a mistruth being told to, in opinion, continue to make people to believe this narrative. And that's my opinion as well.
The shot. If they had been interviewed,
AI.
this basically he been if the weakest footage, hoping to suggest that this is all the problem.
I think the audio is real. It's just picking up a fight that is one of the large apartments that are much closer to the camera. It is over a football field away, and the footage we have is like 40 feet away. And you don't hear anything of that fight at 155. Well, it's because they muted the audio, I think, during the Kaylee drop-off time, didn't they? Yeah, they did. That's why he doesn't hear anything at 155. It mostly and putting out the weakest footage, hoping to suggest that this all the prosecution has. Wait, what? It mostly and putting out the weakest, and Taylor is not putting out any footage. What the fuck? You guys, Ann Taylor did not put out any from like 2 to 4. You don't hear anything like an argument. I always thought this argument sounded like Ethan, but I could be wrong. She hasn't sent it to me.
It just doesn't make any sense. Which it's in this case, and it's the defense very well been used on both sides.
But
Because when the
it didn't help
when
the
the tires hit the road or whatever, the asphalt hits the road, when those jurors are in there watching the real footage that matters, this isn't going to matter anymore.
For the defense.
It has not helped.
It's just not confirmable because it's so bad is what I'm getting at. So it should be like thrown away.
And for some time, it's all you.
Hopefully she'll send me this Instagram live thing. I don't know. She said she was scared. So what? I just don't understand who they're all scared of. We've heard the hunter came over details, but we didn't have a timestamp. Now, what hunter are you talking about? Oh my goodness, there's a nuggie. There's a nuggie. We heard the hunter coming over. Well, what hunter?
From the survivors saying what happened. So the survivors talked to a neighbor.
Now that I would be interested in hearing. What is
And
the
that nothing
wild
was
story?
mentioned about the dog. So does that mean in Dylan's statement she never claimed to have heard the dog barking?
Exactly.
So does that mean in Dylan's statement she never claimed to have heard nothing was
How it starts and for some time it's all you hear. I talked with Hunter. He said he found Ethan. We also talked with a neighbor the day this happened. Yeah,
What neighbor? I'd like to know exactly which neighbor and where's that at? Because I would definitely love to see that. Hey, SRB, good to see you, dear.
By the way,
Yes, sir.
the text on this, what would it be? Someone's chat?
Someone throwing up a chat to her. Yeah.
Yeah. It's blurry, so it's hard to follow for everybody, I'm sure.
She had a wild story.
You mean there? Because I moved.
The blue and white text that's in the middle between them, whatever that is, that's blurry. So
okay,
it makes it hard for me
Sure.
to follow. I'm sure everyone else too.
Yeah, it says at the top, it says how it starts. If you can see my cursor, how it starts. For some time, it's all you hear. And then I talked with Hunter. He said that he found Ethan. Go ahead.
Who is chatting? Who are the people talking by text?
I don't know. They didn't say. They're just reviewing that specific.
We don't know who.
Is that the Brad Norton conversation?
This could be because they mentioned Brad Morton.
Right, I think that's what they're referring to. I don't know, I can't see it. I'm actually on my phone. I know Brad Norton had a conversation, right, with Steve.
Yeah, so if this is what they're talking about in reference to that, then yeah, it's the Brad Norton and Gonzalez conversation on Facebook, which was Brad and Steve.
Okay.
All right, sorry, Eddie. And then it says we also talked with a neighbor the day this happened. And then there's that audio piece there. Neighbors, they go on to say she had a wild story that she heard from the survivors saying what happened. And then I believe the white one is Steve, the blue was Brad. If Hunter was there walking them home that night, but left and came back in the morning. Yes, Dylan needs to be under questioning, in my opinion. And I feel the local cops used her statement only to point to BK. So here's the thing. I remember hearing about this when I was still talking with Brad. Okay. That Dylan and Josie and I think Bethany had a conversation with, I think it's the 1112 or the house that's right next to that house neighbor. And she had a wild story that she heard from the survivors saying what happened. And here's where I think this changed. I think there was a different story told. And that's where in the beginning, certain things were stated. I would really like to speak to that neighbor to hear exactly what Dylan said to that person. Because if it's different than what we were told, then, oh boy, we have a huge problem. Did she tell them the truth and tell the police and everybody else a different story because she thought she could trust them? And if that's the case, what is that story, Steve? Tell the world. But you're supporting this person. You're supporting this person that supposedly told the world a lie. And is it because were you threatened, Steve? Because they started to question Dylan and Bethany. They started to kind of go at them a little bit. And then at some point it just shut it down automatically. Automatically they started supporting them. Makes you wonder, guys, were they threatened to you need to leave that alone? You need to look in a different place? Is that what happened there? Because it changed abruptly. It just shut down and then they started supporting them. It makes me wonder, truly and honestly.
Thanks for saying that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie, guys. It is what it is. It in my opinion, I believe that's what happened because it was one day to the next.
Right. All right.
In the beginning, they were truly like they were making statements that were very questioning towards the surviving roommates, right? And now, and like I said, it was I can't remember exactly how long it took, but it was within a few days. They came back out, and all of a sudden, you need to leave them alone. They're victims. They don't know what happened. This, that, and everything else. What the hell are you talking about, bro? You just said you were questioning them, and now you're not. I feel like somebody could have been threatened and was said, you need to go somewhere else, bro, because you're going to have a problem if you keep going this direction. Think about it.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying. And I got a couple of the little things in the back of my mind that can put that together, too. If we remember who Steve's brother is, for one, and then we remember who Dylan's father is and boyfriend. Just let that brew and stew in your mind for a minute, guys. That's all I'm saying. Come back to me with it later.
I'd also like to know if we have, if we get more info on why Kaylee was kind of estranged from her family there.
Oh, that'll never come out, brother.
I'm telling you.
I would love to know. You're right.
Well, you say that it'll never come out, but I mean, the victim statement from her friend that she was gonna possibly move to Texas with wrote a statement on it, and they redacted it. It's redacted.
Yes. Steve's brother is in prison right now, Micro, and he also belongs to the Aryan Brotherhood. So that's all I'm saying. Anyway, on we go. Good points, by the way, 1-1.
Yeah.
That she heard from the survivor saying what happened. There you go. I would just love to know what that neighbor's wild story was. If Hunter was there walking them home that night, but left and came back in the morning, yes, Dylan needs to be under questioning, in my opinion. I feel like the local cops used her statements only to point to BK. They did.
Mentioned about the dog. She only said she heard like playing, but what, no barking or growling?
I don't know.
I miss them. Where are they?
Because didn't all of it start with her claiming that she heard Kaylee playing with the dog and then after?
Exactly, but that's not even true because it all started when Bethany called Dylan.
After that, Kaylee said, I think someone's here.
I believe so. Yeah, without pulling it up in front of me. Yeah, I think.
I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know. I can't. I still can't memorize all of that. I still can't.
No, I'm not even going to try. I won't be able to.
Interesting one.
Okay.
The girls' toxicology.
I know you probably don't want to talk about possibility of drugs involvement, but I mean, it is college. We've all been there. And to see Dylan and Quinn had a major drug problem. That's what I was told. I was told that Dylan was CI, FBI back at the end of high school. CI for the FBI. And then she would like come and go but it wasn't that she.
Wow, look at the typo Steve made here. The girls' toxicology reports came back clear. Stacy and Ethan was clear as well. And what Brat said to him before that, I forget you guys can't see this, says, I know you probably don't want to talk about the possibility of drug involvement, but I meant it is college. We've all been there. And to see Dylan and Quinn had a major drug problem. And no, and I'm not judging at all, but the mom's getting out and off their charges. And Emma Bailey what is up with these drug charges getting dropped in Quinn's dad? We have very scary background info on him, and this is true. And that's when Steve said the girls' toxicology reports came back clear. Stacy and Ethan was clear as well. And then she says, I 1000% think Brian Koberger was there, but to what role did he play? I'm unsure. And hearing Brent was, I've always thought that in my gut, intuition and soul that BLK had, and it's got to move to the next, but I vaguely remember this stuff. You want me to rewind? How far, Tomboy? Why? I didn't hear it. No. I was reading. Sorry. I'll play it again.
She heard Kaylee playing with the dog, and then after
Exactly, but that's not even true because it all started when Bethany called Dylan.
that, Kaylee said, I think someone's here.
I believe so. Yeah, without pulling it up in front of me. Yeah, I think.
Are you talking about that?
I don't know. If I'm wrong, let me know. I can't. I still can't memorize all of that. I still can't.
No, I'm not even going to try. I won't be able to.
Interesting one.
Okay.
The girls' toxicology.
I know you probably don't want to talk about possibility of drugs involvement, but it is college. We've all been there. And to see Dylan and Quinn had a major drug problem. That's what I was told. I was told that Dylan was CI, FBI back at the end of high school.
Oh,
Back
yeah.
at the end of high school.
Right. That she was a CI back in high school for the FBI.
Who was Kaylee?
Dylan.
Dylan.
Oh, Dylan.
Yeah, I remembered that from before.
Okay, remember the word that Steve said that they were victims. Now,
Yeah.
remember the video from the body cam where they said one of the victims was a CI.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's police saying that as compared to Steve saying it. So, it could
makes
be. I
sense.
said that.
Makes a little more sense now.
To some extent, yes. By the way, welcome, Tomboy. Thank you for joining us. Say hello to Eddie.
But I don't know if
Eddie!
Hi, Tomboy. Good to see you.
Oh my goodness, bro, we missed you.
the only thing though I want to say though that police video, who was it? What was it? Whose body camera was that again, Dago?
It was Gunderson and
yeah, I forget the
who?
Right.
Tomboy?
The chief.
The only thing is it's not. What I could tell you is that wouldn't be like normal.
No, it was Lanyard.
There wouldn't be a normal. It wouldn't be statement for them. So when they're talking about when in that conversation, when he's talking about one of the CIs as a victim, I don't believe he's referring to. He wouldn't be referring to Dylan or Bethany because he's like in that kind of environment when you have 4 homicides. If he's saying that one of the victims was a CI,
as a police officer,
he's definitely not referring to Bethany and Dylan.
Well,
like I said, because it's coming from a police officer stating.
I know. I'm just saying from my perspective. I'm not.
No, I totally get it. In
Yeah.
a normal investigation, yes, you are 100%
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
But this was not normal.
Right. No, I agree there.
And
so nobody gets confused. It was Sergeant Gunderson and Captain Lanyard.
Lanyard. Yeah, that's it.
Lanier.
Yeah.
Miscorrect spelling with everything.
It's not spelling, it's pronunciation. Anyway, if we're led to believe everything was on the up and up with this investigation, you would think that they would be talking about one of the deceased victims, yes. But the more you go through this and read and watch and whatever,
Yeah, I know. I get you. No, you're right.
Then
You're right.
that-
You're right. Yeah, you're right. Like with this case, what normally is up is down. What normally you would think is left is right. I know. This shit is like all over the place.
So that would make a little more sense if
Yeah.
she's referring to one of the victims.
Yeah.
Of
Because
course,
they
it
never
could.
treated her like a suspect or anything. I'm gonna tell you that.
No. She was always treated as a victim with the kid gloves, and they both were. Oh, it's okay. I'm sure that you're struggling so bad. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later they go out partying, getting drunk and dancing. But yeah, of course, they were victims.
But she's also stating that what Dylan was a sophomore.
Dylan was a sophomore in college. Yeah.
Right. So for at least a minimum of 2 years, she was a CI.
In high school. Now, here's the only question I have about that. Okay, because I know is true.
Once you're a Fed CI, you're always a Fed CI. Always.
Okay, but they don't share that with local PD typically. So how did they know that? Is what I'm going to ask you.
Because I'm betting she told somebody, and it's not on body cam anywhere.
Well, here's the thing that makes me wonder now that you said what you just said. We just saw where Steve said that she told one of the neighbors some wild ass story. Did she tell that to the neighbor and say, I work with the feds, blah, 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 blah. I know this and I know that. Is that possible? 1,000,000%. Did it happen? We have no idea. By the way, welcome, Dylan. Good to see you, buddy. Didn't want
Do
you to
you
think I was
think
ignoring
that
you.
when Steve said he was going to go speak to one of the CIs and the Feds stepped in, there's a reason why the Feds stepped in?
It could be. It could be. Actually, let me refresh your guys' memory, because I always thought that could have been Molly, but it could have
Molly
been.
wasn't a Fed CI.
Well, all he said was that he was going to go speak to an informant. He never said it was with the feds. He said the feds said, no, you're not, or you'll be arrested. So that puts the feds in the situation. That could mean, why would the feds step in if it's not a federal CI? Bingo.
Or, yeah, federal informant.
That's what I
understand
meant.
Molly was the
What I said.
protected federal witness.
Well, she was a state CI or a county CI, whatever you want to call it, but not a federal. Now, the feds would not. That's a good point, Tomboy. I'm glad you actually brought that up, because it makes me rethink what I thought before. If you're working for the feds as an informant, why in the hell would the county? I'm sorry, if you're working for the county or the state, whatever, as an informant, why would the feds step in and say no? They wouldn't, because it's not their informant. They have no attachment to that. But if you're working as an informant for the FBI, of course they're going to step in and say, no, you're not. I will arrest you right now. That makes perfect sense.
If I'm correct, she goes a little more into detail as to why she was.
And that's fine. We'll get to that point. But that was a good talking point, because my mind had something else going on in it about that. So that's a good point. And I'm glad that you got me to make my own point. So any thoughts, Dylan, before we go forward?
Oh, wait, let me get up to speed here. So
hold on, guys. It's going to take an hour, because he's got to get up to speed, Finally got a dig on you. I finally got a dig on you. It's about time.
I finally opened the door for one. But
hi Dylan. How you doing?
Oh, just phenomenal. Still trying to figure out the soundboard.
You've met Eddie before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that you guys knew each other too. Go ahead, bud.
So Dylan is allegedly a FBI informant.
Yes.
It's a thought we're having right now. We're not saying for sure.
Well, Lana said that she had good sources saying she was.
When she was in high school, yeah.
That's
what Lana
would
said.
Actually explain a lot.
It could. And I'm not saying it's a fact, folks. So it's another angle and a thought. And Lana has said this more than once. So yes.
Yeah, that would actually explain a whole lot why she was so calm during the whole thing, why the police were treating her with kid gloves,
why she was never attacked.
Exactly.
Yeah. No follow-up question. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why that would explain why the
It does
questioning
fit.
was
It does
yes.
fit.
It doesn't have to be true. I'm just saying it's a thought process, folks. That's all it is. It's just an extra angle, another thought, another way to think about things. That's all.
Which leads me to believe that Brittany Ferrero or whatever, that might have been somebody from the FBI that she added to be like, okay, here's the situation, here's what happened. What do we do?
A
And pretty much,
contact from
yeah,
it is. That's interesting.
Oh, a handler.
Yeah,
yeah.
they all had handlers. That's a fact. So yes, very
And
interesting
if
thought.
it's somebody she knew from high school, yes.
Could be.
Yeah, and I've dug through all the annals of Instagram trying to find anything close that may have been following any of the victims. Nada. There's not even a
We've all went through that whole Britney thing, and nobody can find anything. That person doesn't
Well,
exist.
the only one I can find is she is a teacher at a high school in Boise.
Right.
And I only found that on LinkedIn.
and there's not even a there's not even they're not even following any Britneys, period.
Right. So this is somebody that was new to that situation. A handler, Janice, is somebody that how can I explain this?
Almost like a babysitter.
They make
Big
sure
brother.
that this person is doing the things they're supposed to do, and that's a good way to put
If
it.
it's even a real name too, could be,
A false name, yeah. Right.
It could be, I mean, people use, just like me, right? Like I don't use one at work.
Yeah, and I definitely don't get called Dago by my parents. So nicknames. Yeah, thank you, SRB. Appreciate that. A manager. There you go. Good way to put it, Court RN. Somebody that is managing the situation that person is involved in. Okay. They're making sure that it works that way, that everything goes right, that if there is some problem, they get a hold of the people that need to be gotten a hold of, things like that.
Now, if she was a CI, then I would think that this O'Neill guy would be in the know about it. Because O'Neill, because O'Neill was, it seems, most of his career, he was like some kind of drug handler, like task force kind of guy. So
yeah. So
and he is involved in the case, right? We know he's there.
And I can't imagine that Dylan would be informing on her boyfriend or her father either. So
yeah, that's what's weird.
Exactly. That's what makes me double think this, but we never know. Okay. Maybe they're all informants at this point. I know that's ridiculous, folks. Don't go there with that. We're just thinking about things and just speculating is all we're doing. So
it wouldn't be the craziest thing I've heard about this case.
No, it wouldn't. And there's still crazier things that could be said. Just saying, because it doesn't make any sense. There's obviously, we all know the basics, that it's a huge cover up. The reason is what we're looking for, and we're probably not going to find it. But either way, on we go.
DI for the FBI, and then she would like come and go, but it wasn't that she. And I'm
going to let this play for a second and go grab my coffee. I'll be right back. If there's anything, as soon as I get back, I'll turn my camera on so and you can ask me then. Hey, Sausage, good to see you, dear.
I'm not judging at all, but the mom's getting out and off their charges. And Emma Bailey, like, what is up with all these drug charges getting dropped in Quinn's dad? We have very scary background info on him. The girl toxicology report came back clear. Stacy said Ethan was clear as well, which they were.
He reports clear stories with he talks about basically the drug theory, and buying weed seems fake, to be honest.
Santa's family has some history, but I was told she did party drugs like Molly, but nothing that was hardcore that could lead to behaviors like this. Listen, I've been told or heard a handful of things I will never speak of. And frankly, when it comes to the drug thing, the kids are in college. They partly no one cares who hasn't partied. But to what extent Dylan is in deep with Quinn, I don't know. And or Xana, like seriously, this is like the part of the case that I don't really discuss publicly too much, maybe in some lives, but I'm very much like there are some bad people hanging around like Emma and Demetrius.
Kids would just nothing much after and hated it.
Buying weed seems like, to be honest, like the kids would just go down the street like 8 miles and get it from a store. That's true. Floyd's. Christy went with them once just to check it out. Kaylee would be super paranoid and hated it. Yeah, they wouldn't do drugs. I've never done drugs ever. Christy barely before we got together. Nothing much after. The drug shit seems Hollywood, knowing the toxicology reports were all clear. No, just BK and Brent and Enon, not the kids. But yes, I agree with would seem silly. Why not just buy it? However, I know Enon is a drug dealer. He was. He's not anymore.
I've never done drug wood, knowing that just cartoon like rappers are a clear giveaway.
The weed they have just over the border seems to be what everybody was getting. Like we've been at senior night like 5 times. And the cartoon like rappers are a clear giveaway.
At senior nights like 5 times, and the cartoon like rappers are a clear giveaway. No pro is going to
Plus explain how a hit missed Ethan and Kaylee's new car. Yeah. Ethan and Kaylee's new car. That's interesting. Why is he think that that's Ethan's new car? What do you mean? No pro is going in to rough up someone not knowing who all is in the house they're about to shake down. Honestly, the drug killings seem way far out there.
rough up someone, not know who all is in the house they're about to shake down. Honestly, the drug killing seems way far out there. You think if there was a hit and there was a new car there, the people wouldn't go in?
No, there's nothing that would have stopped it.
Agreed.
If
there's a legit hit on you, they're going in there no matter what. The odd thing is their stories are mixed with 2 different events.
Woohoo! There it is. Odd thing is their story are mixed with 2 different events. Ding, ding, ding. I bet they are. I always thought that was the exculpatory evidence. That just doesn't even make slut. Wait, not what happened. What? See? Because Bethany's wouldn't add to Dylan's. So Dylan's firsthand account won't come off as valid. Thus, this whole eyewitness thing, which scares me because clearly BK was there. Another thing is Kapaka was 36. My girls would.
All right, for those that can't see this, it says something not what happened that just doesn't even make logical sense. And that's coming from Brett. Steve says, odd thing is their stories are mixed with 2 different events. Brett says, I bet they are. I always thought that was the exculpatory evidence because Bethany's wouldn't add to Dylan's. So Dithany, Jesus, now I'm doing it. Dylan, firsthand account won't come off as valid. Thus, this whole eyewitness thing, which scares me because clearly BK was there. And listen, I'm gonna tell you guys something. The only reason why Brat ever said BK agreed to the fact that BK was involved in this, because she never said it to us, was to keep Steve talking to her. She told us that, just so you guys know. Unless she changed her mind, she never believed he did it. So there's that. So that shows you the type of person she was. Steve says, another thing is Kopaka was 36. My girls would want nothing to do with any old school loser who wanted to hang out with girls 16 years younger. Here's my question. How does he know that? Because I don't think he does. He may want to believe that, as we all fathers want to believe that.
Right.
But we don't know,
right.
you know.
Right. I think he wants to believe it. He doesn't know that for sure. Right.
Absolutely. You know, Brent didn't look his age, for one. For two, he's a military guy, was a Marine. Girls like tough guys that have a background, so on and so forth. You know, it's a thing. And girls like older men. Whether you want to
Yes.
believe this or not,
Yes.
Dad, I'm telling you that's a fact. I have 2 daughters. My youngest daughter is dating a guy that's not much younger than me. He's a good dude, thank God. But still, just saying, they like older men, period. And that's, it is what it is. So you don't know these things. Why you're saying this, you can believe these things. You can want to believe these things. It doesn't mean it's true, Steve. I'm sorry. So anyway, on we go.
Want nothing to do with any old school loser who wanted to hang out with 16 years younger.
Two different events.
Right
And
there.
I don't. There's no more him clearing that up because the next thing he meant.
Right there. He fucking says it's the odd thing is their story are mixed with 2 different events. Thank you. There you go. He's talking about Bethany and Dylan. There you go. Is this an old riot show? Forgot the show name, Brenda. Yeah. Yes, I went here because I just wanted to use these text messages.
Is Kopaka was
I think it's a really interesting statement right there, too, by the way, just so you guys know.
36. My girls would want nothing to do.
Go ahead. Oh, sorry. I thought that was one of you guys. Sorry.
And I like them. I miss them. I hope they're doing well.
With any old school.
I did, too. I really liked their show, too. I talked to them a few times. I don't know what happened, but they did a pretty good job, I thought. This was last night, SRB. Go ahead. 1-1.
That was me, actually.
Dylan, sorry.
So, and how would Steve G know? Because last I recall, they weren't on speaking.
They were estranged. Thank you, Dylan. Good point, too. He doesn't know what they were doing at that point.
He would have absolutely no clue.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You might want to think you know to make it look good, like you have a good relationship with your kid at that point, but you don't. So, go ahead.
Yeah, I think if you put Steve in a paid actor in Steve G's place, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Interesting point, buddy. Interesting point.
Oh, I got some words for Steve G. I got some words.
I'm sure you're not the only one. Too.
But the only thing though with Steve G, I think he was given a bunch of bullshit info as well. So, I know not everyone is a big fan of Steve G. Just I don't like everything that he says and comes out with, but just keep in mind, they were trying to use him too as a tool. Like I think at a certain point he realized they're not giving him they're not giving him the full info and they're not giving him everything. And that's why they got a private investigator.
Well, you need to look at both sides of it too. One, not saying you're right, because only reason why I'm saying this is because Steve at one point literally came forward and said, yeah, I lied about things. Yeah. I asked people to put out misinformation on purpose. Yeah. I was doing this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was doing that. Now,
you made the point, Dago, too. I think you said it. I think we talked about it. I don't know if it was on your show or at night a few weeks ago. You mentioned it. You brought up like this conversation with Brad Norton after this, when he basically said, there was some kind of threat or something happened. That's when he like completely changed. He went. It was like a 180 degree like turn from him.
Yes, I think somebody threatened them. This is my opinion only. You guys can think what you need to, and I will respect that. But I think somebody threatened them, and I think that is why at that point they went the way they did, nonstop, like full force. Okay,
and then also and then his wife, she said she's looked at some of the, I can't imagine having to look through crime scene photos and stuff where your child was killed. It's insane. But it seems his wife like just won't seem to budge on anything. It's just like BK. Yeah, BK is guilty. BK's guilty. That's it. Nothing. I mean, come on. I mean, like we talked about, before. I mean, you don't have to know anything about law enforcement. You don't have to know anything about anything. Just like have just basic common sense. And
Yep.
you see this crime scene. You see these 4 people. We know from their own info that, we know that Xana fought. So Xana wasn't killed in 10 seconds. There was some kind of fight there. We know that Kaylee, from Dylan's own recollection, even though it was a contradiction in the beginning, saying she ran upstairs with Murphy. She heard Murphy. Well, if you heard Kaylee run upstairs, then obviously she's not sleeping. So that doesn't mean that Maddie may be sleeping, or we don't know about Ethan, but Kaylee surely wasn't sleeping. And then, of course, later on, then we got the blood on the beer pong table there. So we know Kaylee was trying to somehow escape or whatever. So to say this was all, the state's timeline, everything was done. They did a mock thing. Everything was done in 3 minutes, and like what? It's not at this point. It's not even believable, and that's why you have Howard Bloom, and you get these people now coming, saying that, well, yeah, we didn't have all this info before, and yeah, this doesn't really make sense that one person.
Right. By the way, real quick, sorry to interrupt, Eddie. Just saying another thing you may not know. Howard Bloom has come forward now, and made a statement now, which I made a claim when he did this and it kind of came true, that people were going to follow suit, and he has come forth on multiple shows and made his own statements and said that he now believes, after writing the book and all the bullshit that he put out about Brian Koberger, he now believes that, sure, Brian may have been there, but Brian did not do this on his own based on the things he's seen now. And I think that's kind of interesting. I didn't know if you knew that or not.
Right.
But
and he even
I have caught wind of that, but here's the thing. That could cut both ways.
Sure.
That could be him genuinely feeling that, or he's just doing damage control because more information is coming out that shows that that's the case.
Oh, yeah, right.
And
Definitely.
he's just adjusting.
Yeah.
Yep. Good point, bud.
Knowing that it's still all baloney.
Of course, because he just sold this book, and it is what it is. But he said it on multiple panels now, and he's got other people doing it. He's pissing off Nancy at him, of course, because she doesn't want to hear that. And Ashley has made statements about it. It's interesting. And like I said, that's just one of many who have turned the channel now and said, maybe it wasn't what we thought it was. So yes, and that is a great point, Eddie. Great point, bud.
A quick question to Eddie. Eddie, did you see I know you said you were gone for a few months. Did you see the recent call, like the call text thing that came out from Dylan recently, or not yet?
Yes, I have.
Okay. I'm just curious, asking different people's opinion. We covered it on the Crimes After Dark, and every, Jules, Lana, everyone's pretty much covering it as well. I was just curious what you thought about, there's like 3 calls where Dylan calls Kaylee and Xana, and it's like a 0-second call. I just wanted to know what you felt about that. Like we were trying to we were actually trying to do we were trying to do we were trying to do a real-time experiment. I don't know, you may have to try to do it, I guess, maybe if you're in the same kind of like room or next door. I know Dago was trying to do the experiment with Logan on the Crimes After Dark. We couldn't really replicate it exactly, but it almost seems like either I'm not saying, because I have to be careful here. I'm not saying that Dylan is guilty, but it almost seems like either from her. Well, 2 things. It's either like kind of she's going through the motions, or it's almost like she's standing there, either her herself, or she's standing next to someone, and she's like literally like pressing call Kaylee, and then either from her or someone next to her is literally like we said, like standing next to her, and as soon as the number pops up, they're just hitting like end.
Right.
They're hitting answer and then end like immediately. Because I have had calls in the past where it just so happened like I'm actually on my phone and I see a call is coming, and I actually have answered the call before it's actually even it hasn't, there's been no ringing or anything. So I just curious what you
And
thought
real
about
quick,
that.
so I can add to that,
Oh,
Eddie.
I'm
So you
open-minded. Something like that absolutely would had to have happened that night.
So with the
Right.
experiment, the only thing that came close to making that work with me and what me and Logan did, Eddie, was she dialed and hung up immediately, and it doesn't register. It stays at all zeros. That's the only
Right.
thing. So what I said was, it looks like you said, and I know you said this from the beginning almost. In every circumstance, this is just one more piece of that she dialed the number to make it look as though she called Kaylee, so she could say, "I tried to call and nobody
Right.
answered." But
Right.
isn't
It's
smart
like
enough.
it's right. It's like she fucked up basically in the script. Like whoever was giving her info, like, oh, make sure you got to call Kaylee, you got to call Xana, to make it look like you're trying to find out what happened. But
That's what I'm saying. So
but
she didn't realize.
she
She
messed
didn't.
up and she didn't wait. Right.
She didn't realize that people are going to notice that the call didn't work because you didn't
Right.
dial it all the way through. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. When we saw that, we did the experiment, and that's the only thing that came close to even matching remotely. So yeah,
Yeah, when you're just acting and going through the motions of something and it's not
yes,
genuine, there's going to be mistakes made. For
absolutely.
Sure.
And that's all they've done this entire time in this investigation is cover up the mistakes that were made trying to make this happen, folks. If you can see it, it's there. So
And
on we go.
given
Oh,
Dylan's experience of
yeah.
allegedly being a CI, she would be smart enough to set that kind of timeline.
Or would she? Maybe that's why she needs a handler, bud. Because she's not smart enough to be able to do it on her own.
Well,
No.
either way, somebody came up with the idea.
And that's what I said the other day. Is like it almost feels like they went through multiple scenarios in that 8-hour period of time and came up with what would be the best one to do. And maybe, that's why she was telling that story so indefinitely the way she was to everybody, because it was in her mind and she was making sure she was getting it out while she could. With Jack and with Nunez and with all the neighbor and whatever she said to these people. Maybe she screwed up and told the neighbor the wrong story. Maybe she said something to somebody else. You know what I mean? Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, when we watched, when you had, when we rewatched her interview the other day with Vicky Gooch that you put on,
Mhm.
it was like mind blowing. I know I missed like a bunch of stuff on there, and you said you did too. I mean, when you hear
Right.
Dylan's answers to some of the questions, she's lied so much she can't even answer a damn question. Like there's a
Right.
question about the door being unlocked, and she answers like within like a minute. She gives like three different answers to the same question. She's like, normally, I lock the door. Normally, I lock the door, but sometimes I don't. Ethan usually forgets to lock it, so I think I locked it. No, I might not have locked. Like, what do
She
you like?
answers. She answered
Answer
the
the goddamn
questions.
question.
She answered the questions with every answer, Eddie, that you can, as you probably remember. Yes, no, I don't remember. It could have been, maybe. And so she goes through every fucking answer you can answer with. That way it's all covered. It's ridiculous. So yeah. Go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's almost like A/B testing. She's
Yeah.
she's either practicing with other people for the big show, which is the cops.
Yeah.
Or she's trying to find the right story that makes the most sense to her.
That's what I believe it is. That makes that works the best. The one that's most believable, that people react the right way to in her mind. So yes.
I have a quick question. I don't want to
Please.
be the Debbie Downer here, but how much more of this is there?
There's not much. If we can get through, it's just a little bit. I just keep stopping it. So I will shut up and play it, and we will be done.
Loser. For one, that's not always true. For necessarily it can be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I loved it. They covered the Moore case. You guys.
This next part says, "Oh my God, I knew someone would wear something like that and took it off the back at the back door. This is Brat. And put it in a bag and burned or buried it." Steve says, "Remember the report Bethany saw a naked guy? We heard that he took this. We took this off at the glass slider, placed it in a plastic garbage bag, and she noticed his leaving in it, him leaving in his underwear. I'm sorry. They have the recipe for it, and he purchased it at Pullman Walmart, also on camera. And this is something Steve is telling her, and she's putting it out, and that's what he's hoping is going to happen. And we know that this isn't true. We know what he bought at Walmart. We know that this is just bullshit, and this is how a lot of this happened, guys.
Bethany Funk saw a naked man. You guys, November 13th interview. Okay, that's where I think that's coming from. Or like,
Next up, it says, "Ugh, I'm disgusted, and I believe this 1,000%." I'm sorry, Steve. Hey, Steve says, I am not what is all being said, or I am not what is all being said, but I have heard repeatedly that Dylan is shady and should be looked into. Imagine that." Brat says, "Wait, what?" Steve says, and this is interesting. You might want to write this down in your notebooks if you have them. "The grand jury members both said they didn't believe her testimony, and it created more questions than answers. They said some of them, she said, they said some of them said she would be investigated, but for a reason that we do not fully understand, they didn't feel Bethany was as shady. We only had so much time to ask questions." Wow, isn't that interesting, guys?
Wow.
So the grand jury member, and I know Steve spoke to 2 grand jury members. He claimed the grand jury wasn't even comfortable with Dylan's testimony, obviously, because they're not stupid. So therefore, in turn, they get it. You gonna say something, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like it makes me wonder why add all this fluff to something that's already going to have a bunch of fluff. I mean, you would want justice for your child.
Of course, yeah. That's why
Right.
nobody understands, but nobody understands
And then and then I don't understand why the grand jury would go ahead and indict if they don't believe one of the victims.
You want to know the reason I think? Because the Gonsalves family was there, as were other family members from some of the victims, and I think they felt bad. That's truly and honestly what I think it is.
Yeah, and
that sounds dumb.
Right, and you also got to take away. I know it's hard to do. You got to take away what we actually know now too. So, so the PCA, from the PCA of what they had. First off, they were wrote in a very very particular way that BK's phone, disconnected, but they didn't they didn't say it in that way. They made you to a regular person not really looking into it makes it sound like BK turned his phone off, because that's what someone would do if they were going to commit a crime. But it doesn't say he actually turned his phone off. You have that. Then you have all these very 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 specific timestamps that they place suspect vehicle 1, that they say an FBI specialist, basically confirmed that was BK's car, which we know now it's not his car. So you have his car being confirmed by a car FBI specialist at certain timestamps, and then you have the DNA on the knife sheath, the IgG stuff. So it's hard. It's hard, going by all that stuff. It'd be hard not to. Hard not to indict him. What reason at that point would you say? No, I don't believe that this is his. If someone tells you, someone is a car specialist, and they're like, yeah, this guy confirmed that's BK's car. well, if you're telling me that's his car, so I know that, and at certain
Well, yeah, and
location,
yeah, we can definitely get into that stuff once we get through that. I want to get through this for sure, but
yeah,
those are good points for sure. And again, uh, this is what was stated. I don't even know that they were there, you guys, at the grand jury hearing, but he claims that they were there. So it is what it is.
yeah.
Then again, we don't believe much of anything he says because you know how that works. So anyway, she also says next, did you listen to my audio? She claims the neighbor was over there smoking with them that morning, Dylan, Demetrius, and Emma. Now we all know where this came from. We all know what this is relating to. So that I'm going to take with a huge grain of salt there. Just saying.
Like potentially from Maisie, who's talking to Patterson. I mean, remember the whole thing with the Patterson book is that Maisie told Dylan to shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Dylan. Nobody's got time for your fucking shit, okay? You pathological fucking liar. You vampire loving motherfucker, okay?
For those of you that didn't know that, that is in the Patterson book that Maisie, Ethan's sister, went off on Dylan and told her to shut the fuck up. And that nobody believed her. That was a thing in a book. Is it true? I don't know. But it could be. It very well could be. Just saying. So, just saying.
Go suck somebody's blood, Dylan. All right. So, and you didn't call the police. And one thing most people don't know, if DM and especially BF are well connected and have friends in.
All right. So Brett says this is serious shit, which is why I'm trying to ask you if she's jerking my chain, trying to get info out of me for some reason, which I'm not saying a word. But when I said I do believe the naked man was running, she was dead silent for a couple of minutes. And Steve says one thing most people don't know, if Dylan and especially Bethany are well connected and have, one thing most people don't know is Dylan and especially Bethany are well connected and have friends in a powerful position. Brat says, which makes me freaked out, like I almost sense I'm speaking with someone who saw it. Can I call you on this? Steve says, we have videos, so I was thinking it's one I already have. Brat says, sorry, I can't stand this stuff. You, whatever, I can't read it. On we go.
Powerful positions. What? One thing people don't know is, I think you meant to say, is DM and especially BF are well connected and have friends in powerful positions. There it is.
Really, truly like to know who that is.
DM, most people don't know is DM and okay, I feel like I'm talking to somebody.
Brat says, i.e., I can't read the top portion. It's weird. I don't know whom I'm talking to. I legit feel I may be talking to someone who either really saw it or may be semi-involved or is jerking my chain. Only more talking will give me those answers. Steve says, what channel are you? I don't watch 95% of the online stuff because one of the FBI reps said, be careful what you watch because once a few months and then years pass, you'll get super confused about where you got your facts from. Imagine that. And all it takes is getting it wrong once and the media will destroy your reputation and you wouldn't be talking to any of them after that. Brad says, yeah, I understand. Oh God, have you not seen me? Ha ha ha. I'm Brat Norton on TikTok. You're such an idiot. Anyway.
Don't back in Pennsylvania before the
shit. No, I am IT and we don't allow TikTok on any company devices. 100% the truth. I bet I've never seen your show unless I watched it via the browser.
Oh, they skipped the top. So I'm also very careful with what I say. I'm the only one who did the Emma Bailey series video. That's not true, but okay. That's what got Howard Blum's attention. Steve says, shit, now I am IT. We don't allow TikTok on any company devices. 100% the truth. I bet I've never seen your show unless I watched it via the browser. Brat says, and a lot of attention. Ha ha ha. Well, my YouTube is beyond the bullshit. but I don't put much content on there. I've done all the rabbit holes, so I'm blank on the speculative type, but that's what I call turning over. Okay.
Browser.
Almost done, guys.
The fuck? It was he went down because of the informant. He didn't plan on getting caught.
Okay.
So
He went down because of the informant and didn't plan on getting caught. What does that even mean? Hey, January. That's interesting. Brat, that's what Steve said. Brat says, I have pictures from the pool party I can send to you. Maybe you can compare. This other neighbor person also puts Brent Kopaka and Enan Harsh together. Jesus Christ. Buying weed from Enan, smoking together. I'm sorry. Puts BK, Brent Kopaka, and Enan Harsh together. Buying weed from Enan, smoking together. It was some indoor pool party, I think, at a hotel-like location. Christy has the photo, Steve said. Rat says, not the pool party then. BK was at the Grove Outdoor Apartment Complex party. Check the blank photo, please, or check the photo, please, just, and then it breaks off. So Steve's saying that he went down because of the informant and that he didn't plan on getting caught. Oh, I missed this portion. It must have jumped forward. So that up there, Rat saying, and I feel deeply about others being involved and the motive being something other than stalking. And I'm not defending BK by any means. I just know in my heart and soul that this was over something else. And I don't want to insult you, but I'm not going to lie to you either. Steve says the FBI got so involved because BK was being monitored back in Pennsylvania. That's an absolute lie. I got to tell you, for those of you that don't know this, Brian wasn't being monitored in Pennsylvania over anything. They didn't even look at Brian for the Pennsylvania stuff until this happened. So just understand that. And that's all been proven to be bullshit anyway. So anyway, I got to tell you my honest thoughts, especially because I'm attached to it in the same way I can see it different. And also, though, want to help in that way. I want to help release things or show things that we say that, what the hell? Or show things or say things that will help your family. Yes, I believe Brian Koberger is working for someone. And that's why he was sent to Washington. And thanks to the FBI, thankfully, the FBI were already there. That's an interesting statement. That was all from Brad there.
Wonder, is there
Who
actually
the fuck said that?
some kind of legitimacy to the Russian hacker theory? Was if Brian Koberger is guilty, was he Moscow PD with more messages kind of about this, that the only way he got caught was because of the FBI, that the Moscow PD would have never caught him. The FBI is the sole reason that he got caught.
Yeah, because the IGG, which they're not talking
as Brian Koberger.
It's got to be part of the case.
Okay. Brat then goes on to say, stressful times for real. I'm sure your family is all dealing with it differently. I know you're on a mission as I am. Sorry. Steve says he liked things via Instagram. It seems LinkedIn also, and they took Kaylee's down. This is a lie again. That this is either stuff he's been told or things he made up, but none of this is true. And there's part of the problem with this case. Because Brian had no connection to them. He never liked anything on Instagram, LinkedIn, any of this shit. But it's interesting he said that because they took Kaylee's LinkedIn down and then put it back up. So I'm going to say I have an interest in that. The picture is on Instagram. She's asking, and yes, this whole LinkedIn thing is bizarre with what Olivia said. Steve says they will not let us have access. So Gray said it's got to be part of the case. So here's the problem, folks. That answers a question I've had for 3 years. I think some of the information that Steve was coming from his attorney telling him, this is what I think is going on. This is why I think it, so on and so forth. And it's coming from Gray. So in turn, Steve just believes it because he's an attorney. And Gray, okay, Shannon Gray, very possibly has been wrong, and he's handing wrong information to his client, and Steve's taking that as God's word and running with it. There's a problem there. Okay.
But Daigle, you had mentioned this, probably half hour ago. There's a point at which you understand that some of the things that you had said previously is misinformation. So how come there's never been a correction, is what you said, or something to that effect? And that's the point. There's a point at which you are lying by knowing that you've done that.
Yes, and that's thank you for saying that, Eddie, and I'll add that now. This was at the very early on in the case, okay? This is the direction that we were going, and then all of a sudden things changed and started doing other things, and there have been no corrections. There's never been any corrections to any of the bullshit. So when you know that you're being fed, this is the problem I have with what 1-1 said, and it's not you, 1-1, it's what your statement was, where Steve was being fed the wrong information, whatever, so on and so forth. They used him as a tool. I did believe that. That's absolutely true. So when Steve realized that, why did he not come correct with what he was told? Why did he not say, this is what we were told, but this is what the truth is, we found out? He didn't do any of that. He just let it ride. Okay? That's a problem, folks. Which tells me something different. Okay? And that's the point that I wanted to make. And I again, adding to what I said already. So thank you, Eddie, for throwing that back out there. That's a big problem, folks. That's a big part of this. So, and alone, whether his attorney's wrong or not, when you find out the truth, that's fine. Then tell us. Don't just let it ride, which is what he did the whole time.
And has continued.
Yeah.
And has continued even after everything that's come out. What was it? The Nancy Grace interview where he comes out and just lies.
Absolute blatant lies. 1,000,001% that you know are lies, and you're still saying it. Everybody's doing it.
I'm going to take a wild guess here, and I'm going to say the attorney or somebody close to him said, "Hey, keep your mouth shut. You're going to get a lot of grain coming your way." Because that's the only explanation.
Say that one more time.
Somebody told him to keep his mouth shut, and there's going to be some green coming your way.
Probably. And that, or they were threatened that if you don't go this direction, this is what's going to happen. I mean, he does have other children and his wife and his family. I mean, you can threaten people. And they were getting threatening messages. They showed to Brian Enton. We saw him on screen about bad things happening while they were sitting in the courtroom. So who knows, guys? Maybe they have been threatened this entire time to run this narrative. Who knows? But again, I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I'm just saying these are all probable thoughts. Okay. There's got to be reasons for everything, in my opinion. Sorry. I don't know why.
As far as the grace period goes with Steve G, that is gone for me.
Oh, there's no grace period at this point anymore. I fully agree with that. And
the dirty little secret is, if you're being threatened, go to the media. Go to the media.
Go to the police. Go to the media.
And make it absolutely impossible for something to happen.
Right. And yes, for everybody coming in, this is Eddie. Yeah, I agree with you on that, buddy. So she says I'm sorry, Dylan, my apologies. These people are fucking sick. Steve, I'm so disturbed. She was crying to me on the phone. She's a mess. And then I told her I need to go. She begged me to stay. And what I heard going on, I'm disgusted. I don't know. Steve says, we do have a long story about another story that came from a jailhouse, so-called snitch, but it never developed into anything. We couldn't find proof of, or we could find proof of, I'm sorry. But we spent weeks trying and interviewing some shady leads. Brat says, I will never tarnish Kaylee's name ever. Okay. I think that some shit was going on with Dylan. She's the person that connects these lowlifes. No, I know, and it's tough. Oh, I mean, it's fact. I'm just gonna go forward with this. I can't read the damn top part of this for whatever reason, it's because of the way it's placed. Something explanation as to why, but it's such bullshit. Everyone thinks Dylan's story doesn't make
Family.
sense. I'm sorry.
They treated
Oh, sorry. Doesn't make sense. It never will because she's lying. Steve says she is for sure, but she is protected by her stepmother's law firm. Okay, so here we are. Okay. Bingo. I'm glad this is put here. Steve knows Dylan's lying. Why are you now supporting her, Steve? Right there. That's it right there. She is for sure, but protected by her stepmother's law firm, which she is. But Steve knows she's lying, and he's continuously protecting her. And Bethany. We have a problem, folks. We have a problem. This man knows she's lying about this story. This is answering the question that we wondered when we said, why don't the family see what we see? Why aren't you saying something about this? There's got to be a fucking reason, folks. And it must be a pretty serious reason if he's still going on with this. I think they were threatened by the same source that threatened Dylan or Bethany or put Dylan and Bethany to do what they did. I'll say that. Eddie, you look like you were going to say something. Go ahead.
It's such a coincidence that we're covering this because,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to, this is a bit of a spoiler alert. For those
It's
of you
okay.
just joining, I've kind of prepared some thoughts, and Dago is going to allow me to share them on an upcoming
Yes.
show. But it's such a coincidence that we're covering this because it's touching on the same theme that's been weighing on my heart for a long time.
Good.
And I've kind
This
of
will prepare us for it.
yeah, it's kind of like part one almost that we're doing right now.
Works for me. That's a good thing. I'm glad when things work out that way. That way, this will be in your minds, you guys. Here in a day or so, when Eddie's ready to do this, and we can do the rest of what he wants to cover, it'll just play right into it. So that's a good deal, buddy. I'm grateful to hear that. That's a big that's huge to me right there. What we just said, guys. She is for sure lying, but she's protected by her stepmother's law firm, folks. Tell me that is not huge to you guys. And they all know this. They all know this. And yet, Brian, and this was early, guys. This was probably July 18th of 2023. Okay. Thank God the date's at the bottom. At 1:41 in the morning. Okay. July 18th of 2023. At 2:00 in the morning, they're having this conversation. And Steve says to her, she is lying for sure, but she is being protected by her mother's law firm. Steve Gonsalves said that about Dylan Mortensen. And yet, a man was pushed into a corner to take a plea deal and sits in prison right now and was convicted of a quadruple homicide based on the lies of a witness that has never been forced to tell the truth. What a damn piece of bullshit. So then he goes on to say, it sounds like sounds like there's some power in that firm, meaning her stepmother's law firm. They're also being helped by Jack Showalter's family. They treated to sue me, threatened to, here's the threat. They threatened to sue me pretty early into the case. They sent someone to my house. They trespassed, came down my driveway, right up on my porch. It was pretty wild. They have a full phone dump of both girls' phones. Why did I not see this part before? This is crazy. She says, yeah, I know there is probably a lot more of that weird shit that you don't know or aren't telling me. Then Steve says, is her name Amber H? Well, there's a name that I didn't have. Okay. I'm not joking. I'm reading this as it sits. Onward.
I can promise you this. If I was in Steve G's spot, someone came up my driveway threatening me.
They went back in a different way. Yeah.
They are not walking out.
That's how I am too. So Brat goes on to say, but I can't read the first block ever. But she would have written it somewhere. Um, but you'll think it's normal writing, like nothing telling, but it will say everything. If that journal entry has more recent, or was more recent, I'm sorry. Steve says she only lived there for 6 months and was home most of that time. The big C made remote classes pretty common. Brett says, I need you to understand that trust here is impossible in this case. So I know how hard it is to determine who is being real or just like, I don't know. It's brought out by the crazies. Interesting. She said that of all people. Steve says, plus she was working full time for an internship. No, so school was quite light. Just had to finish a few classes to graduate. He's talking about Kaylee at that point. And Brat says, but I'm not one of them, and I need you to ask yourself or find out when she wrote that journal entry. What journal entry am I? Hold on. Make sure I didn't miss something here. It's not listed. There must have been something redacted from that. Okay.
I will say, after seeing this, I was on the fence on how involved Showalter was.
Yeah, well.
Now I'm convinced.
Why would Jack Showalter's family be threatening legal action against Steve Goncalves, folks? Somebody? Anybody? Interesting.
Yeah, I'm now without a shadow of a doubt. That in I think it was True Crime Forensics.
Mm-hmm.
The guy with the Sherlock AI.
Oh,
he was able to catch Jack Showalter the night of. It sounded like Showalter's voice saying, "We're gonna kill you, Maddie."
Well, don't take that stuff to heart, bud, because I have some issues with some of what he's put out. I don't know how much to believe in it. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm just saying just take that with salt. That's all. Just to be safe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This up here says Dylan Mortensen breaks her silence. Close friend reveals what actually happened in the Idaho 4. Predator or prey? That's something different for me. Video premiered January 13th to 23. The facts in this video has received prior permission from Dylan Mortensen to be shared with the masses. There's plenty of other details and information that she has allowed me to release, but this was the most important fact that she wanted to clear up first. There's 4 shocking details that she has been specifically instructed by the prosecutor she cannot release. Hopefully this helps clear a lot of speculating going on around YouTube and etc. And then it shows a transcript, it says, but it's not showing the transcript.
There you go.
Oh, this is that guy that was talking of that with the deep voice was saying that his friend was a very good friend of Dylan's and blah, 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 blah. We went over this a couple of times. What's up, Tomboy?
Actually, if I remember correctly, this dude sounds like
it sounds like Rollo.
It sounds like the inebriated fowl.
The what? Is that a channel name?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. I've never heard of it before.
DT?
Sorry.
DT?
Oh, drunk. No. I don't think it's him.
Actually,
I know what you're saying now.
Listen to the voice.
I did, and I analyzed it. I mean, it could be if he changed his voice a bit, but it's a little darker, I think.
This is
anyway, I'm going to jump down. I have to go to TJ Maxx.
Okay. Go do your thing. I'll be here. I'll let you guys hear this again real quick, and then we'll get out of here because that'll be the end. This is pretty quick.
Got the feds screwing or attempting to screw Dylan. And give you a brief background as to who I am.
See, the only way this is Daniel is if he deepened his voice because he's got a higher pitched voice too. And I get what you're saying with this, but I don't think it's him at all.
So my girlfriend is in Dylan's inner circle. And by inner circle, I mean inner circle. Like they've hung out almost every day since the incident occurred. And I've seen her a plethora of times as well. So you're going to notice I'm not going to use words like allegedly, supposedly.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not saying I think it's Rollo Amato. It sounds like Rollo's voice. It's just the same, like,
There's similarities.
Yeah, that's all. I'm not saying I think it's him at all, by no means. Rollo, if you hear it, I'm not saying that. They have the same type of voice. That's all.
Because all of this is actual firsthand factual information. Where should I start to clear things up?
And I think this is interesting to hear this again 3 years into this because of what we've learned recently. There's no reason. I've gone back to many things now that we've learned what we've learned. So this may change for us as well. I'm not saying it will. It's a possibility is all I'm saying. So
first of all, there's a lot of misconception about Dylan's.
You guys didn't even hear what I just said, did you? I said, I'm sorry, because I'm bad with the mute button. What I just said was that I know we've heard this, and we've been going back and listening to a lot of things that we've dealt with years ago, okay, based on what we know now that Dylan's stuff has been released, now that crime scene photos have been released, now that we've gotten other messages and whatnot. And this could change this for us, guys. I'm not saying it will, and I'm not saying to expect that. What I'm saying is it very well could. Because it's happened many times so far. So it's good that we're rehearing some of these things again, like I said.
Suffering, PTSD, or trauma, or any of that. None of that is accurate. In fact, when we try to console Dylan after the incident, she's the one that was laughing at me and my girlfriend and I, talking about we're so weird when we tried to give her a hug and stuff. So she's still the same old Dylan. She's had a rough life growing up. She's been through a lot. She doesn't have PTSD and didn't suffer any trauma. The incident that night, and what I'm referring to with the feds actually put a lot of words into her mouth that she didn't say herself first. So there was a lot of leading statements that they were insinuating to her, and she was really scared the first few days, obviously.
Think about this. I believe this is accurate. I'm gonna tell you why this is accurate. Because the first couple of days, like, she was scared or whatever, because she didn't talk to anybody
after the incident occurred. So, like, the reason none of it makes sense in the affidavit is because it didn't really happen that way. So she never stood there shocked when she saw the individual.
Check, bitches. That is absolutely correct. Okay, dude.
So what he's saying, guys, is that which we already know this, that the whole frozen shock phase and clad in black statement and this and that she was not shocked when she saw this guy. She says in her interview, but then now he's saying this. They said in their document, and now he's saying this. It is what it is. Take it for what it is.
Dude, I am telling you. Listen to this shit. This came out January 2023, like right after the arrest. Right after the probable cause was released. It was like
anything of it. For everyone who's creating these random stories about.
Okay, so think about this. Listen to this. This is your 227 shit. In my opinion. But remember, though, she doesn't remember when Ethan and Xana came home. Okay. But if she did this earlier, all right, then what? Like, then something. Remember, it's mashing up two different events Steve was talking about?
Her being shocked or traumatized. She didn't realize anything was going on. And it might sound crazy, it might sound dumb, but she really had no clue anything was going on. They're being a little loud, so she yelled at them to be quiet. And that's it. She locked her door and she just went back to her room. And she didn't want to be nosy or anything. So, she was kind of new to that house, so she didn't want to be nosy and, get all up in their business, especially at, in the middle of the night or early morning. So it's as simple as that. Everyone trying to blow that whole situation into something that's not. So yeah, that's that. And she didn't actually get a real good look at Brian. At the time, she assumed it was one of Xana and Ethan's friend who was just getting ready to leave, who was walking out. She didn't get that good of a look. The feds were really aggressive with Dylan the first few days, which is why she hired the attorney to begin with, because of the treatment of her during the interview, more like an interrogation, to be honest.
Dude, the Fed, I'm telling you, there's another Fed. There is a Fed interview that I think took place between the 13th and
I think Lana's right, and I think that we haven't seen everything that Dylan went through. I think they were a little rougher on her in the beginning, okay, and they haven't showed us that yet because of the way they put her as a victim now. So if that's, I'd love to see it if it's true. It may not be. I may be wrong, but I've always thought that. So
the 17th.
Well,
in my
that
opinion.
would be
Gotta go back and
that,
listen to the
that would be a little counterproductive to the whole narrative of her being
Yes.
a CI for the
Yes.
FBI.
yes,
Need to see if she talks about talking to somebody if she slips.
So that's why she got an attorney, because the way they were talking to her, and they didn't really understand or believe why she's the only one alive when you kind of skip rooms to get to the other 2 rooms.
That's exactly what fucking Victoria Gooch said to her. Exactly what she said to her. She's like, well, and then Dylan said that those exact words. She's like, I get it. I understand. Like, you have to go past my door.
good point, SR. That's good point, SR.
So she didn't really like the feel of how the interrogators or the feds were talking to her. And within like a few days after the incident, they approached her with pictures of Brian. It was like, is this the guy? Do you think this is the guy? This is definitely him, right? And they were almost leading her to believe this has to be the person. And she wasn't really sure, but they kind of put those words in her mouth. It's almost like, they were insinuating it so much to where she was like, yeah, I think, no, it's definitely him.
No, that's a goddamn lie, right? No, that's a goddamn lie. Unless that interview is somewhere else.
And yes, Perfect Prisoner said, Eric Gower said he doesn't remember Dylan. He didn't know if Dylan was a man or a woman, guys. I always thought that was interesting because Dylan expressed and explained Eric Gower as the guy they always used. Interesting, isn't it?
Then the feds buried that shit. I'm telling you, I don't know. I fucking don't know about that. That's interesting because remember the feds had Brian Kober's name way before they ever gave it to Payne and their stupid asses.
And that's when they just kind of like ran with it. So what you see in the affidavit is it didn't play out that way. So Dylan's attorney and her, and actually all of us, are pretty upset at how they threw her under the bus in the affidavit. When's the last time you've seen a witness or like a snitch in a case, their actual names being mentioned? The fact that they didn't redact it. We all think that the feds and prosecutors threw her name in there purposely to apply more pressure because Dylan was really wishy-washy during the interrogation. And with them, putting these words, set in stone on paper, it kind of puts a lot of pressure on.
Think about it. She was wishy-washy the entire fucking time.
That, she can be a huge help in this case. So it's not like she's identifying somebody she didn't see. It just didn't play out necessarily like, oh, bushy eyebrows. She saw bushy eyebrows, and was able to 100% identify him, It's just initially when, detectives and feds came in and took over the scene had been contaminated so badly.
Listen to that. So badly the scene had been contaminated. Like,
We all know that already, too.
By the local authorities, when they first came, first responders, they stomped all over the place, contaminated the scene. All the, other people that were at the house, they were, walking up and down the steps, to make sure what they're seeing is what they're really seeing.
What do you guys think about this? Dude, what is going on? Do you guys remember this? Dude.
And there again, all the other people that were at the house, they were, walking up and down the stairs, to make sure they were seeing what they were really seeing. So is he saying that there were other people there that were not in the circle of people that called 911, that were going in and out of the house before police got there going, looking, oh my God, yep, they're dead. Yep, they're dead. Yep, they're dead. What the fuck? This is nuts. But it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. So just saying, because I still believe, and I said this before, that there were other people there that morning when police responded that had left right before they called 911. I do truly believe that.
It's kind of matching up, right? It's fucking wild. This came out January of 2023 after Dylan basically is like, it's like a, whoa, wait, this is not what the fuck I said in any of these interviews. What are they doing? What's going on?
So, this is a scene that was really badly contaminated. So to equal the playing field, the feds feel like, having a star witness is critical here. But just the way she was being interrogated initially was...
And again, like I said, guys, I'm not saying that I believe this. I'm just pointing out little bits and pieces of this that do make some sense. It sounds like she told him a story, and he's repeating that, if this is right. And she kind of underplayed her act and her part in this, in my opinion. I'll say that much, to make it seem like she didn't have much involvement.
It's kind of crazy. It's not what you guys think. They weren't being all sensitive and gentle to her. They were really accusatory and kind of, pressured, put the press on her. Thought that she might have something to do with it because it just didn't make sense to them why she's the only one alive. And on top of that, didn't see anything or really hear anything. She didn't want to be nosy, didn't want to, get up in her roommate's business. She told him to be quiet. The last thing that crossed their mind was people are getting slaughtered next door and upstairs, So
Next door, and upstairs. Next door, like to where from her room is.
And like he was already halfway towards the kitchen and walking out.
That's exactly what she said. Dude, this person totally talked to Dylan. You go back and you fucking. And for y'all that are scratching your heads, yes, police do lie. Yes, they do. They've kind of thrown everybody around the ringer through this whole case from the very start. Yes, dude, this fucking person talked to Dylan.
All of y'all that are scratching your heads, yes, police do lie. They've kind of thrown everybody around the ringer through this whole case from the very start. And you have to think about it. Why would a survivor or a victim have to hire an attorney? Obviously, they were mistreating her pretty badly as they're interrogating her, and especially now throwing her name in the affidavit like that. That's all because they're pretty upset she hired an attorney to begin with. And because they want to put a lot of pressure on her from the public for her to be the star witness. But aside from that, she's doing good. She's the same old Dylan. All right.
So there you have it.
Everything. And
I think I pretty much covered everything. And let's see. Now that's everything. I'm hoping this video doesn't come off sounding crazy. So anyway, that's the end of all of that, you guys. Sorry it took so long to go through that, but it was definitely an interesting conversation piece, and some of those topics in there actually kind of changed a few thoughts that I had. So I don't know, gentlemen, one had to take off, obviously, but gentlemen, any thoughts?
The whole thing with the whole lawyer thing, rule number one, whenever you're going to be interrogated, you say that magic word. First thing out of your mouth, lawyer.
Yeah.
Period.
Understood.
So, and the FBI would be used to that at this point, you would assume. But to punish Dylan by putting her in the PCA, I don't see that as being legit. But
I agree.
I do. There is absolutely a lot of truth to that. But on the other hand, you got to look at the other side of the street. Someone's putting names in my mouth. The moment that I'm able to talk, which would be the plea deal, which everything that's coming out, that would be coming out, I'd be on that. I'd be on the first news channel. I'd be on the first YouTube channel saying, hey, here's what I said, and here's what I saw.
Mm-hmm. Unless you're not supposed to.
And again, we go back to setting up a meeting with whoever is threatening me and the good Lord above.
Yeah, well, that's what normal people would do. And as Eddie would say, in a right side up world, this case doesn't exist. Neither does this town. Does not exist in a right side up world. So, any thoughts, Mr. Eddie?
No further thoughts on that portion.
Gotcha. And this again, as Eddie stated, guys, because he's going to be joining me here in another day or so for another show where he's going to bring his thoughts and things he's put, little things, something he's put together. Will basically be part two of what we cover today. I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh yeah. When she yelled, shut the F up in the background on the 911 call. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we have that we know. This, I'm sorry. And Steve says it himself. She's absolutely lying, but being protected by her law firm family. We got issues, guys. We have issues when he knows she's lying and he's denying it to the world, and he's standing up for her. And Very, very interesting. We're going to be getting into a conversation about that on an upcoming show too, and maybe even discuss a little bit of it tonight at the Verdict Room at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys need to be there with myself, Bronx Tales True Crime, typically unique in the last 24 for episode 4 of this awesome show we have, guys. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here at the cafe. We present the Verdict Room Unfiltered. The four of us will be breaking down probably some of this because this was a great conversation. And then, like I said, we're going to be getting into another show with Eddie's coming back to join us again here in a day or so. I will let you know for sure. And it's going to be another great one you don't want to miss. I'm super duper excited and happy that Eddie has popped back into our community. We missed you a lot, sir. More than obviously, you know how much. Great show today, guys. Great conversation. I'm sorry we didn't get to anything else, but a lot of times when we get into an Idaho conversation, we don't. And I think everybody kind of was pleased with the conversation to begin with anyway. So
Yeah, for what it's worth, there's not a whole lot to cover with the Nancy Guthrie case.
there isn't. No,
We
really.
could have that covered in 5 minutes. Not that I'm suggesting we do, but I know you got to get going. And
It
on
was
that
there
note,
were truly the only thing I was going to talk about was some kind of a mysterious internet outage and stuff like that, guys, which is kind of like null and void really to the point. So go ahead, Eddie.
my battery is starting to, heat up
Yeah.
and be short-lived here. I don't want to
Absolutely.
push it too far. So with that, it was nice to see everyone again. And Dago, I'll look forward to that email. We can set up a time, a date.
Yeah,
and
it'll
and
be
I'm ready to
simple.
go whenever you have availability.
We can go as soon as tomorrow in the morning if you want, or like the daytime, afternoon, early afternoon, whatever you want to do, bud.
Okay.
I'm good for you, and I'll just send an email and let you know that for sure. But yeah, absolutely, I'm ready anytime you are.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, brother.
So I'll
Again,
see-
it was great to
Dylan,
have
nice
you.
seeing you again.
I've seen you too, Eddie.
All right,
Uh,
Dago.
All right,
I'm
brother.
out. Have a
All right,
nice
we'll
evening.
see you soon, bud. Thank
All right,
you again.
goodbye,
for joining
everybody.
us. All right, and Dylan, any last feelings, thoughts, or anything besides this before we head out of here?
Not really. I mean, my thoughts on Dylan haven't changed at all.
Of course.
I mean, I do think that there was a part that she played, whether it was directly hands-on or the cleanup crew. I don't know. But I will say I was on the fence with Jack Showalter. I am no longer on the fence with him. Now we
That's a
need
big
to.
question, isn't it? Why would his family threaten them legally? Why would Jack Showalter's family legally threaten, which we know he has a very powerful family? Why would his family legally threaten the Gonsalves family? That's an interesting point to me. We need to look into that, I think, a little bit more.
Yeah, that alone, and I know you said to take it with a grain of salt, but I mean, you combined everything that we've seen.
Sure.
I mean, it could be. It wouldn't shock me if that is 100% what happened.
Sure.
And then,
Yeah.
and if you do one of these open panels on Monday or Tuesday, might be a little interesting from my camp.
Sure,
I got-
sure. And like I said, this didn't come from Jack Showalter himself. According to Steve, it was his family that threatened the Gonsalves, not Jack's family. So that's more interesting to me than anything.
So what
But
do
yeah.
the Showalters know?
What's that?
So what do the Showalters know?
That's that right. Very good point. Very good point. So yes, guys, Eddie will be back here in a day or so. To jump, I'm sure he'll be following again regularly, but we'll be definitely jumping into some of these things that we've talked about today, looking in a little deeper. Again, I don't want you guys to miss out tonight for a great show with the Verdict Room Unfiltered with myself, Last 24, typically unique, and Bronx Tales True Crime. It should be a great one as always. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. I'm looking forward to that as always. Dylan, it was great to have you here again, buddy. And yeah, we'll probably be doing some more of these open discussions at this point, especially with the Idaho 4 case. We can't do much more than that, and then to open up the platform for people to openly discuss what we believe and think on this. So yeah, I'm interested. I'm truly interested. And by the way, give me one quick second.
But yeah, if everything goes as planned, I'll be in a slightly different location for the next open. If it is
Wow,
Monday.
what do you got going on?
Well, it'll just be from my racing wheel. I got some stuff coming to where I can do that live from I can do videos from there.
Oh,
So
very
yeah,
cool.
it'll be an interesting setup.
Very
little bit of redneck ingenuity.
Interesting. Good stuff, buddy. So, before you guys take off, I do want to do one quick thing here. I want to say first and foremost, happy birthday to our moderator, Fizzy. We love you. I hope you had a great birthday. I wasn't in here yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to do that on my side of things, but I'm going to do it now because you know what I do. So, again, happy birthday, Fizzy. We love you. I hope you had an amazing day. You deserve nothing but the best. And I hope this makes you smile just a little bit here. All right, so there's that. And don't go nowhere, guys. I'm not done. I just wanted to show that first. 1 second here. Here you go, dear.
Happy birthday, Fizz. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Fizz. Happy birthday, Fizz. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Fizz.
And you got your cake too, Fizzy. We love you, kid. I hope you have a great day and a great year leading up to next year so we can do it all over again because we love you. So make sure you guys wish her a happy birthday on the way out. Dylan, we will see you very soon. Thank you to my moderators, my amazing producer and videographer. Appreciate you all very much for everything you do. That being said, guys, again, we'll see you here 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the Verdict Room Unfiltered. Have a great one. Until then, bye-bye, y'all.
Happy birthday, Fizz.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true. A perfect picture of what they chose to do. The quiet street erupts in flashing light. A reckoning delivered in the night. SWAT serves the warrant, loud and clear. The sound of count.